An ordinary girl, a slave to her work, is determined to change her fate after being reborn. She vows not to get involved in relationships and only focuses on cultivation, maintaining her image as a cold-salted fish. However, her master, a proud and seemingly emotionless person, gradually notices his increasingly strong and independent disciple. Hilarious situations occur as they both try to suppress their feelings but inadvertently grow closer to each other. Follow Lisa Manhwa to see how the story, a blend of cultivation, humor, and romance, brings a touching story of change, family, and repressed love, and how it will continue. The story begins with the image of a clock showing 12:24, but the lamp on the desk is still lit, and suddenly a voice rings out, "Zhou Yan." The urging voice of director Wang echoes from the phone speaker, "Is the draft done yet?" The client needs it urgently. Zhou Yan frantically types on the keyboard while hastily replying, almost done, coming right up." Finally, she finishes her work, so exhausted that she can only let out a sigh of relief. Then, she collapses onto the bed, uttering a relieved sentence, "Finished. Let me introduce myself, an ordinary person, a slave to work. My name is Zhou Yan, and my greatest wish in life is to be a salted fish." She closes her eyes, clasps her hands, and prays. Tears of frustration stream down as she pleads. This believer is willing to lose 10 kilograms in exchange for a world without overtime. As if the heavens heard her sincere prayer, a miracle occurs, and her entire body suddenly glows. "I never expected that my wish would come true." Two figures are gradually merging into one, and a voice cannot hide its disappointment. Unfortunately, it came true in another world. As the figures completely merge, the surrounding scene suddenly changes, and a deep, warm voice rings in her ears, "Disciple, Ting Yan." A handsome man suddenly leans close, "Liao Ting Yan, why are you in meditation?" Startling her awake. Surprise! Zhou Yan, hearing someone call her by a strange name, freezes stiffly, "Liao Ting Yan? Who is Liao Ting Yan?" In her pitifully small brain, there are countless question marks. Where the heck is this place? Wasn't I sleeping in bed? Could it be that I've transmigrated into a novel? Only one piece of information appears, Liao Ting Yan, disciple of Qinggu Tian in Gengchen Xiaofu. Zhou Yan's poor brain is overloaded, and her mind is spinning in confusion. So frightened that she doesn't dare to move. But why don't I have any memories? Why isn't there a newbie guide? In this awkward situation, she desperately wants to give up everything. "I want to die." But suddenly, her nominal master speaks to comfort her, "Ting Yan, you don't really need to cultivate like this. You joined the sect late, and your cultivation is not high. Your whole life will be at the lowest level. This time, all 8 major officials of Gengchen Xianfu are selecting outstanding disciples. Our Qinggu Tian is just here to make up the numbers." However, these words don't reach her ears. Instead, she focuses on the blurred face of the person in front of her. "What is this? I transmigrated to a world of cultivation and became the disciple of a handsome guy?" He points to the distance, his face beaming with joy and expectation, and expresses, "Grandmaster has been in closed-door cultivation on Sanxing Shan for 500 years. Today, he has finally come out. Our Gengchen Xianfu, as the largest orthodox sect in the cultivation world, feels honored for such a major event. Not to mention the entire Gengchen Xianfu. Everyone in the cultivation world feels honored." Following the direction of his hand, Zhou Yan sees a vast and solemn scene below. She looks like a country bumpkin coming to the city, her face dull with amazement, so many people. She suddenly remembers something important and leans in to ask quietly, "Shifu, is this Shizu easy to get along with?" He smiles to reassure this new sprout, "To her, don't worry. Shizu's title is Zizong Daojun. He has a high status and is also the elder of our sect leader, and also senior master of the Zhangmen. I have never met Shizu, but just hearing this Dao title, I guess he must be a magnanimous and amiable elder." Zhou Yan feels somewhat relieved upon hearing this. That's good. Then the two of them land on the ground. This is the first time she has seen magic so close, so she is amazed. Wow, it really is riding the clouds. But wait a minute, seeing a row of beauties standing opposite, she is stunned and judges, why are they all female cultivators? Is this Shizu selecting concubines for the emperor or a talent show for a girl group? Suddenly, a great beauty notices their appearance. Then she approaches and greets, "Which junior sister sect is this?" This beautiful girl is Muan Aixing, the granddaughter of the Zhangmen of Gengchen Xianfu. The Shifu quickly introduces the two to each other, reporting to senior sister, "Ting Yan is my tutor." She politely replies on the surface, "Greetings, senior master." But inwardly she is already admiring this captivating beauty. Wow, a beauty. Knowing the identity of the person in front of her, she withdraws her initial enthusiasm, leaving only the usual social smile. Oh, so she is not a shimmy, but a junior niece. The two girls behind her don't seem to have any good intentions either. The disdain is evident in their eyes. Hee, with such low cultivation, she will be blown away later. That's right. After they leave, he turns around to coax Zhou Yan, "Don't be stressed, it doesn't matter whether you get chosen or not, I won't blame you." She nods foolishly, MHM. Originally, she didn't care about this so-called selection, so in her heart, she is still very relaxed. Why should I be stressed? I'm just passing by. After a while, several beams of strange and magical light fly from the sky and land on the high platform, attracting everyone's attention. They gradually gather into 5 different parts. Finally, the light transforms into a person. Shi Tianlu, the Zhongmen of Gingchen Xianfu, appears. His demeanor is extremely dignified. The girls below immediately switch to fangirl mode when they see him. Oh, the Zhongmen came in person again. A few years ago, when a great demon appeared and harmed the world, only the 4 palace masters came. Today, for the selection of these people, he actually came down the mountain. The person next to her also feels excited. It seems that the higher-ups value this selection very much. Tianlu announces the task that everyone has been looking forward to in a serious tone. Today, we will select 100 people from all the disciples here to serve Shizu, Zizong Daojun. Then, he and the other 4 people begin to activate the formation. Rays of light shoot straight up from the ground. In the next second, it shines directly on some candidates, including Zhou Yan. Everyone smiles happily as if they have won in life. Wow. Except for one person. She puts on a dead fish face and secretly laments. I said I was just passing by to watch. Why was I chosen? Although it's unreasonable, it's like it was expected. Those who are selected are quickly transported away, despite her frantically shouting in her heart, I don't want to. In an instant, everyone appears at Sanxingshan Palace. Zhou Yan is amazed as soon as she sets foot on the ground. As expected of the world of cultivation, we arrived in a flash. And Aishing is also among those selected. Looking at the ancient tower in front of her, she frowns worriedly. Sanxingshan has been sealed for 500 years, so it's like this inside. The 2 people with her are also lucky enough to be selected, but they are made nervous and frightened by the surrounding atmosphere. Does everyone feel that this place is a bit scary? Wait, it seems like I can't use spiritual power at will. What happened? Those locks, what's going on? At this moment, a voice from afar steals everyone's attention. Only to see a female cultivator with a pale face, sits down on the ground, tremblingly looking at the thing in front of her. Those flowers are like Ryu Yutan. Why are there so many Ryu Yutan here? Zhou Yan also curiously looks over, but the more she observes, the more confused she becomes. Aren't these flowers very beautiful? Why is she so scared? Suddenly, a line of golden characters appears in the air. Looking up a little higher, she sees the blurred figures of the Zhongmen and the palace masters appearing in the clouds. She exclaims in admiration, as expected of the world of cultivation. They can even transmit sound in the air. Tianlu's steady voice echoes in everyone's mind. There are many benefits waiting for you. If you receive the favor of Lord, you must report back to me. Remember, all matters related to Zizong Dao must not make him angry. Zizong Daojun is very extraordinary. Zhou Yan sweats profusely as she listens, her eyes losing all hope and reason in an instant. These words don't seem right. Wasn't he said to be a kind and gentle elder? Why does it sound a bit life-threatening? She secretly glances at the female cultivators around her, and sneers again. If this ancestor is so dangerous, why not find someone like Buddha to suppress him? What's the use of finding a bunch of white-bone spirits and snake demons here? Could it be that they are useful to appease the ancestors' anger? Suddenly, the palace in the distance exudes an oppressive aura, and the chains that bind the surroundings shake continuously due to the shock. Even though they are standing far away, they are still affected, and the wind blows so hard that they almost fly into the sky. Although she tries to shield herself carefully, Zhou Yan is still cut in a few places. She curses in her heart, damn it, I'm bleeding. Up above, Tianlu unexpectedly kneels down and kowtows to apologize. Sherbua, please calm down. Shizu, please calm down. Since a senior has humbled himself like this, the female cultivators below also immediately kneel down on the ground. She kneels on one side and wonders blankly, are you guys sure this is an orthodox ancestor coming out of seclusion, and not some ghost king? Then, Tianlu respectfully bows and presents a letter and narrates a message. Sherbua, not long after you went into seclusion 500 years ago, Shifu reached the end of his life and passed away. Before his death, he left a letter, which can be presented to you. The other party reluctantly allows it after hearing this. Enter. With that said, the raging aura just now dissipates, and the palace door opens slightly for him to enter. But after witnessing the rage just now, some people have begun to lose heart. Are we still going in? And Aishing, although also quite worried, still firmly stands her ground. Of course, we must go to pay respects to Shizu. Only Zhou Yan is still cowardly as usual. I think it's better to just leave. After a while, Tianlu alone ventures into the tiger's den and finally comes out, as majestic as he was when he entered, as staggering as he is when he leaves. Not only that, his face is covered with dense wounds, without a single spot unscathed, but he stubbornly orders, Shizu has come out of seclusion and does not like to be disturbed. Only female disciples are kept to serve Shizu, everyone else is dismissed. This word is like a royal pardon. Everyone runs away in a flurry, leaving the female cultivators staring blankly. Zhou Yan's face goes blank. A thought suddenly pops into her head. It seems like I should run too. While everyone is still in a daze, suddenly the hissing sound of a snake appears from somewhere. As soon as they see it, the female cultivators scream in fear, snake. And Aishin tries to suppress her fear, bows to it, Senior, I am a disciple waiting to pay respects to Shizu. Under the order of the Zhongmen I came to serve Shizu. The snake turns inside and hisses a few times as if implying, follow me. And so the group follows its guidance and slowly walks. When passing through a corridor, Zhou Yan notices some suspicious marks on the wall. Her brain makes up a bunch of bloody plots. Isn't this the blood of the Zhang men from just now? Frightened by her own thoughts, she directly petrifies on the spot. Mom, I want to go home. After wandering around the palace for a long time, they finally get to meet the infamous Shizu. From the darkness, he calls out to the group, come here. The female cultivators dare not disobey the order and quickly step forward and bow. Greetings, Shizu. With a small courage like an ant but possessing a curiosity as big as an ox, Zhou Yan stealthily looks up. Only to see a tall, strong, and majestic figure standing on the high platform and walking towards them. Following his footsteps, she sees something special. This small red rosary gives people a feeling of heart shaking. Her eyes attentively observe the other party's every move, and her heart unconsciously becomes tense. At this time, Zizong Daojun has walked close to a female disciple. His lips slightly move, uttering a sentence full of meaning. Indeed, a very big gall. As soon as the words are finished, a stream of hot blood splashes beside Zhou Yan. A fresh and beautiful girl falls down just like that, dying without closing her eyes. Her heart rings warning bells. What's going on? This is not good. I'm not good. Killing people. I'm so scared. Killing people. But strangely, the girl who just got a ticket to reunite with her grandparents, her face suddenly changes, whispers arise. Isn't this Shimi Wanling? Who is this? Several people standing behind seem to be familiar with the real owner of the name, and panic and discuss. Why did this person mix in here? Why didn't anyone notice? Before Zhou Yan has time to digest all this information, her chin is grabbed by a force. Looking up, in front of her is Sima Xiao, also known as Zizong Daojun, but with a face like a Azura descending to earth. It is difficult to associate him. He glares and judges. What a big gall. Outside, Zhou Yan has tears in her eyes. Inside she is already extremely nervous. I didn't do anything to be daring. Basically I didn't do anything, Lord of Heaven. I'm wronged. I'm about to die. Don't kill me. Suddenly a tremor comes, making Sima Xiao stop abruptly, painfully calling out, then immediately pushes her away. Escaping death by a hair, she falls to the ground, her body as if drained of strength. I'm saved. His face darkens and angrily orders, get out. Then as if he is having a seizure, he shouts loudly, get out of here for me. The female disciples feel that the situation is not good and run away. Screams echo everywhere. Zhou Yan also runs away quickly but still tries to look back to curse at the other party, going crazy when he says he's going crazy. This Shizu must have a mental illness. In contrast to the gloomy atmosphere inside, the scenery outside the tower is much more breathable with rolling hills and picturesque scenery. Zhou Yan breathes a sigh of relief, secretly feeling grateful for her small life. I'm really alive. Outside Sanxingshan Tower, and I Xing, as a senior, takes the initiative to lead the others. Everyone, since Zhangman has asked us to serve Shizu, then we must stay here. First find a place to live. Suddenly, Yun Shiyu, the granddaughter of the Yun family palace master suddenly comes out to refute, but Shiji, it seems that Shizu is not willing to let us serve him. If we stay here, it will only be a waste of effort. These words hit the hearts of the other female cultivators. Everyone nods in agreement. That's right, what senior master said is not wrong. Seeing the other party intentionally confronting her, she points directly at her face and questions, Yun Shiyu, stop misleading the public with your fallacies. She smirks disdainfully. Who is misleading the public with fallacies? Just now that Shimi died so tragically, everyone has eyes to see. And then the war between the two beauties becomes inflamed. That girl is not Wanling Shimi. Maybe Shizu saw that she was an outsider pretending, so he killed the chicken to scare the monkey. Oh, does this statement of Shiji mean, who is the monkey? The more they argue, the more tangled everything becomes, from verbal argument to physical fighting. Whoever runs around is the monkey. You, so what? Who is afraid of who? Zhou Yan stands on one side watching the commotion and judging this chicken flying dog barking battle. What the hell? Are these people cultivators? Why have they become a palace drama? It's the ultimate style in palace dramas, cursing and fighting. A stray sword flies towards her. Luckily her instinct to love life saves her. Ouch, so dangerous. She quickly hides behind a wall far away from the melee, telling herself in her heart, I just escaped the disaster of the ancestor, I can't die here. A few hours later, when everything has returned to its original peace, Zhou Yan pokes her head out to explore the situation. Finished fighting? She looks at the desolate scene without a single person and is dazed like a golden deer. Wait, why am I left here alone? Dear Sherbois, please look at this weak and pitiful junior niece who has no one to help. Seeing that everyone else has left, she doesn't bother to worry about being here alone. Oh well, if no one cares, then no one cares. Zhou Yan stretches wearily, still not giving up on the idea of returning to the old world. Anyway, I'm not a person of this world, maybe dying will allow me to go back. She turns on philosopher mode to explain, death is not scary, it's the pain that death brings that is scary. Oh well, let's forget it and drink milk tea. In a garden full of peach trees, Sima Xiao leisurely leans against the black snake that has now transformed into a large one. Following the winding body of the snake, a mean voice suddenly comes from somewhere. There will be wealth and honor in danger. I believe that before everyone came here. Their families had talked about these things. It turns out that in front of him is a screen reflecting the scene of Shiyu and her gang plotting. We must quickly gain the favor of Shizu before the others. It is closely related to the survival of our Gangchen Xianfu. Sima Xiao opens his eyes and purses his lips, his tone full of contempt. Listen to how big their guts are. Then, he gets up and steps on the python's body, steadily stepping to its head and ordering, "Go," scaring it out of its wits. The master has suddenly changed his face again. "Scaring me to death, boo-hoo-hoo." After walking for a while, something suddenly catches his eye. On a nearby pavilion, there is a familiar figure lying in the sun. This place is indeed a great sleeping place with cool breezes, sunlight that is not too harsh, and a faint fragrance of flowers that lulls people into a dream. The python shrinks in an instant, entering inside while judging. What arrogant person dares to sleep soundly in front of the master? Sima Xiao slowly walks closer to the sleeping person, his eyes fixed on the other party. At this time, Zhou Yan is on vacation. A strange glass enters his eyes. It includes a straw and cold drink inside bamboo pipe. He quietly sits down looking at her eye cover for a long time, then raises it to see her face. So, it's this bold person. Seeing the girl still immersed in playing chess with Duke dreaming, the black snake's drama-loving blood stirs. About to die, about to die. This person is definitely dead. Sima Xiao lowers his eyes to look at Ting Yan, suddenly speaks, "Even people from the demon realm can sneak in." Then he reaches out and gently places his hand on her slender neck. His hand gradually increases in strength, but his face remains cold as he asks the black snake, "Tell me, did the dogs of Gangchen Xianfu deliberately try to anger me? Or did they really not expect this step, completely not discover it?" One would think that Ting Yan would hardly escape this time, but suddenly Sima Xiao lets go, for a very simple reason: what the demon realm wants to do to Gangchen Xianfu. What does it have to do with me? As he is thinking, his hand accidentally brushes against the black snake's scales, then his fingers slightly exert force, peeling off a shiny black scale, making it so painful that it cries but can only swallow its anger. "Oe, oe, oe, what are you doing? Why are you peeling my scales again?" While he grins, imagining a good future. Maybe we are even looking forward to seeing the destruction of Gangchen Xianfu more than the demons of your demon realm. A few days later, at the Sanxingshan flower garden, Ting Yan carries the bamboo pipe, walking and looking at the peaceful surroundings. Her mood is more positive, actually, thinking positively. It's not bad, beautiful scenery. Both food and drink, no need to work. She successfully hypnotizes herself. Isn't it like a free vacation? Her eyes accidentally glance at the nearby flowers. These Ryu Tan flowers will change color at night, truly magical. Suddenly there is a rustling sound. Ting Yan cautiously turns her head to look. Who also came to admire the flowers like me? She curiously parts the leaves to find the person, and discovers that there is a girl who seems to really like the Ryu Tan flowers, so she reaches out and picks a flower. She can't help but feel pity. "No, these flowers are blooming so beautifully. Shimmy, why did you pick it?" While watching with relish, her pupils suddenly shrink in shock. Ting Yan's whole body unconsciously trembles non-stop, trying to raise her hand to stop the other party. Wait, but the latter part can't escape her throat. "Shimmy, behind you." And the girl is still innocently picking flowers and catching butterflies. I didn't expect that in this ghostly place, there would be such beautiful flowers. Unaware that there is a mysterious figure gradually approaching behind her. That person is none other than the expressionless Shizu Sima Xiao, but now the murderous intent in his eyes makes him even more fierce. Ting Yan stands on one side observing, not daring to move even a millimeter. Only to see the head of that shimmy being snapped off by him in an instant, the movement like the girl picking flowers just now. Seeing two crime scenes in one day, Ting Yan quickly covers her mouth, avoiding throwing up all the food from just now. Her whole body collapses to the ground trembling. So scary, want to vomit. Shizu didn't see me, I didn't see anything. Looking at the fresh blood stained on those legs, she secretly swears in her heart, I can't go out casually anymore. And so, she runs straight out of this place, going back to my room right away. Definitely don't meet that Shizu again. Late at night, the black snake silently slithers into a small room. The black snake looks at Ting Yan, who is sleeping like a log. No matter what it does, she doesn't react. It can't help but wonder, why hasn't she woken up yet? How can she not have any vigilance? While it is still overthinking, could it be that she fainted? She unexpectedly slaps it in the face and then sleepily strokes it. Big darling, don't be noisy anymore. Because in her dream it has become a small dog that needs to be loved. Okay, stop licking, go out now. Only this time, when she reached out and touched, she didn't touch any fluff but something cold and slippery. Did Big Darling get its fur cut? It feels so strange to touch. Ting Yan slowly opens her eyes. Then she sees a big, bloody, ferocious mouth above her, startling her so much that she screams, holy crap. She is immediately jolted fully awake, kneels down, clasps her hands, and begs, Brother Snake, can't you eat a little less? There are 100 people in total. If you eat one a day, you can eat for 3 months. If you eat 3 meals a day, you can eat for a month. She remembers which god to pray to and prays once, Buddha. Jesus, Allah, Mom, save me, please save me. Seeing her cry so loudly, the black snake quickly throws out a bamboo pipe. Ting Yan picks it up and asks tentatively, a bamboo pipe? So you want this? The black snake is satisfied that she understands its intention and nods vigorously to confirm the answer. It turns out it was a misunderstanding, a misunderstanding. After knowing its intention, she breathes a sigh of relief. This is the water I found in the Chankuan bag. The bamboo is very magical. The bamboo can continuously generate sweet and pure water. I'll give you a big glass. More than enough. The black snake opens its big, shiny eyes and waits upon hearing this. Watching it drink water without using its tongue, its whole head immersed in the water, Ting Yan sneers. The big snake that Shizu raises, it really is a bit like a puppy. Being able to raise this giant snake like a dog, Shizu is truly Shizu. In fact, it had tried this water before, which happened when it was in the forest. The bamboo pipe that she accidentally dropped was tasted curiously by the black snake. So sweet, oe, want to drink more. Since then, it has been fascinated by this taste. On the other side, Sima Xiao hides in the darkness and orders, speak. That sentence is addressed to the female cultivators kneeling respectfully below. He gives a meaningful smile. What did you come here for? Shiyu stammers in response, each word carefully chosen without revealing any flaws. Disciples came to serve Shizu. Knowing full well that the other party is lying. He glares threateningly, say it again. To be sure, he uses the truth spell on her while repeating the question, what did you come here for? This time, she has no way to beat around the bush. Her body contracts as she tries to resist. I came here to become Shizu's wife, as long as I give birth to a child with the blood of the Sima family. The bloodline of the Fengshan clan will have a different continuation. I can trap and kill Shizu, helping Gingchen Shanfu escape the disaster. This great conspiracy is aimed at one goal. Our Yun family can become the masters of Gingchen Shanfu. Sima Xiao is not surprised after hearing the whole plan. He doesn't even change his expression and grunts. Then, he steps down, approaching them. He suddenly points to one person kneeling in the back and uses the truth spell to question, and you? The woman is also very frightened and resistant, but like Shiyu, she has no control over her words. I pretend to submit to Yun Shiyu, because I'm waiting for the opportunity to overthrow her. So that the Emo family can seize the opportunity to open another palace, surpassing the Yun family. These words successfully shock her greatly. Sima Xiao sneers sarcastically, it's been so many years, why are they still using the same unimproved tricks? Only me, Sima family is only left with me, once I die, Gingchen Shanfu will be over. What palace master, what lineage, all of you, the entire Gingchen Shanfu, will die with me. Not long after that at the lantern pavilion of Gingchen Shanfu, bright lanterns float on the water. Suddenly a panicked voice rings out, it's Shiyu's soul lamp, its soul has flown away. Palace master leads her servants to question Tian Lu, Zhang Men, Sima Xiao really doesn't show any restraint? She frowns, condemning Sima Zhao's crime. We sent 100 female cultivators, and more than half have been lost. The other party laughs coldly upon hearing this. He has come to this day, what is there to be restrained about? If it wasn't that he hasn't recovered yet. And can't leave Sanqing Shan, I'm afraid. Keep monitoring, demons, and ghosts. The second half of the sentence seems like a harbinger of a storm to come, still not manifested. In her room, Ting Yan and the black snake are fast asleep, snoring loudly. Suddenly she feels something, her face turns pale as if she is about to die, oh my. Her stomach suddenly cramps in waves, painfully rolling around on the bed. Why is it so painful? Could it be that my period has come? But something is wrong, not right. There is no feeling of blood flowing out. The body of a female cultivator is so strangely structured, a stomachache to the point of dying, and it's not my period? The black snake is awakened by the noise, staring blankly at the wriggling thing in front of it. Now the wriggling thing has stopped wriggling, switching to a soul-lost state, startling it. Dead? The palace is still brightly lit at this hour. The black snake brings Ting Yan, who has fainted, to Sima Xiao, wagging its tail and pointing at her while hissing for help. Master, save her. He looks at it with a slight surprise. What did she do? Why do you want to save her? Before long, Ting Yan vaguely regains consciousness, murmuring and searching for something. So cold. She waves her hands randomly and accidentally grabs Sima Zhao's leg, begging, give me a blanket quickly. He grits his teeth, trying to restrain himself from throwing her away. Is the spy in the demon realm really so daring? The black snake can only shake its head helplessly at this scene. It's over. This female cultivator is really going to die this time. But his next action surprises it. Sima Xiao places his hand on Ting Yan's stomach and rubs it gently. He quickly finds the reason for this. So it's the bone-corroding poison of the demon realm. Clumsy tricks. He suddenly helps her up, his cold hand touching her stomach. The black snake carefully stands on the side, obediently watching. What does the master want to do? Is he not going to use his blood to save this female cultivator? Then Sima Xiao puts his finger into her mouth. He is startled and opens his eyes wide, his pupils unable to hide his surprise. This girl. It turns out that her teeth are not sharp enough to cut his hand. She is annoyed by the poking finger and makes a few noises. Looking at his still intact finger, Sima Xiao shows disdain. Human teeth are really useless, can't even bite through my finger. The black snake seizes the opportunity to show its ability. I told you, my teeth are still more useful. Then Sima Xiao personally pours his blood into Ting Yan's mouth. Only he has poured a lot, but she still shows no signs of improvement. He is a little surprised. Why hasn't she woken up yet? Can't my blood even withstand a bit of this weak demon realm poison? In fact, she feels very uncomfortable inside right now, so cold. She sees herself covered in blood walking on the cold snow, each step leaving a long trail of blood, so painful. Finally, Ting Yan falls to the ground, unable to get up anymore, her heart filled with despair. This time, I'm really going to die. She opens her eyes slightly to look around and asks herself, dying, can I go home? But Sima Zhao's blood has an effect. A warm feeling rushes over soothing Ting Yan. Why isn't it cold anymore? It doesn't seem to hurt either. It's very comfortable. Outside, she can now leisurely pull the blanket over her and lie down to sleep. Wait, I can finally sleep peacefully. Both Sima Zhao and the snake are stunned to see Zhou Yan already snoring soundly. He suddenly becomes pensive, so she just fell asleep. Is the demon realm's painstaking effort to send her here just a joke? But then a thought flashes in his head. That's not right. This girl is not that simple. She is not like those stupid fools who run in front of me seeking death. But slowly seduces this foolish snake. Perhaps what happened today was also her arrangement. Sima Zhao suddenly gives a sinister smile. That's right, very scheming, deep thoughts, worthy of this mean and gaudy face. Thinking of it, Sima Zhao pinches Ding Yan's face, causing her to feel uncomfortable. After 2 seconds, she wakes up with a start. Her face darkens when she sees the scene in front of her. Scared me to death, oh my mother. Because both the snake and Sima Zhao are staring fiercely at her. Woke up. Your guts are indeed very big. She wakes up from sleep. Once again Ding Yan turns on the mode of a humble person bowing and begging. It's the murderous mad Shizu. Shizu, spare me. Her whole body trembles as she thinks. This seems to be the second time Shizu has said that I have big guts. How wronged I am. If I really had big guts, I wouldn't want to go to the bathroom now. Boo hoo hoo. Sima Zhao doesn't care much about her pleas, coldly questioning, what did you come here for? She hastily glosses over and replies, disciple came to serve Shizu. Hearing this, Sima Zhao looks at her with bullet-like eyes, repeating the question, answer me, what did you come here for? He once again uses the truth spell, pointing his finger at her. Ding Yan grits her teeth, trying to restrain her words, But under the powerful effect of the spell, she can't control it and says frankly, I came to adjust my work and rest schedule, to relax my mind. These strange words make Sima Zhao feel very uncomfortable. Are these really words a person would say? It seems that this demon realm spy has cultivated so much that her brain is broken. What happened? Why did the words change when they came to my mouth? Inside, Ding Yan is extremely flustered. This must be this guy's trick. The mystical world is hurting me. There is even this kind of truth-telling buff. Sima Zhao suddenly rushes over and grabs her neck, not allowing Zhou Yan to struggle anymore. He watches her cry in pain, but doesn't care at all. Instead, he is busy overthinking. Those old guys of Gangchen Xianfu are all scared to my place. If the people of the demon realm don't have a disease, they won't come to my place to relax, unless, you want to kill me? Zhou Yan says each word with difficulty, don't want to. Obviously, these words make him even more confused. Sima Zhao presses close to Ding Yan's face. Why don't you want to kill me? Her body has rung the alarm. She is about to suffocate. Her mouth still tries to stammer. Because no enmity, no grievance. For no reason, Zhou Yan's sentence makes Sima Zhao stunned, then suddenly changes his tone. Killing people in this world doesn't need enmity. He increases the strength in his hand, giving a demonic smile, also doesn't need a reason, like now. His voice becomes more and more dangerous, murderous intent emanates fiercely. For no reason, no enmity, no grievance, I have to kill you. How do you feel? Being held in Sima Zhao's hand, Ding Yan wearily asks herself, why is this cultivation world so cruel? There is no sympathy for this place in her thoughts, for no reason, wanting to kill people for no reason. However, she can't complain, still speaking with difficulty. Her face both crying and smiling bitterly. I feel it's possible, anyway. Her lips tremble and mutter the last words, I also can't beat you. The moment the sentence is finished, Sima Zhao's expression changes. Ding Yan's inner self is screaming madly at this moment. Mom, when will this truth-telling buff be lifted? Can I have a chance to beg for mercy? What if this turtle directly strikes me with one palm? Wouldn't I really die then? I still want to try to fight for a last chance to live. Sima Zhao sneers sinisterly, his hand gradually loosening. You want me to kill you? Pausing for a moment, he suddenly releases Zhou Yan's neck. He leisurely stands up, his tone full of mockery. I don't want to kill you anymore. While Ding Yan has lost her balance and fallen to the ground, coughing a few times, unable to restrain herself from cursing in her heart. Does this Shizu have teenage syndrome? Sima Zhao doesn't forget to order, in the future you will come here to serve me. She hears and is stunned, pointing at her face and asking back, me? Ding Yan cries without fighting, boo hoo hoo, can I refuse? Okay, I know I can't. The snake on the side shows joy, hee, finally someone is suffering with me. A few days later, some female cultivators come to Naixing's place, Shirshu. She bows her head to express, I dare not go to see Shizu. She hears and is confused, serving Shizu, wasn't that your original wish? The female cultivator doesn't hesitate and immediately kneels down begging earnestly, I don't want to anymore, Shirshu, I'm scared, hasn't Shizu already become a demon? If not, why would he massacre the disciples in our sect? He can kill a few Shirshu, Shiji, he will also kill me, please Shirshu let me go. She casts her sharp eyes to the other female cultivators, anyone else like her, get out of here. Seeing those frightened faces, Anishing waves her hand criticizing them. All of you are as timid as mice, can't even withstand such a small test. How can you pass Shizu's discerning eyes? The group doesn't think so much, and leave together. Run quickly, preserving our lives is more important. In fact, she is hiding something extremely important. I am the one chosen by the Zhang men, unlike those ordinary people, only I know that Shizu is the bloodline of the Fengshan clan. Know the taboo about his birth. Therefore, she alone comes before Sima Zhao's palace kneeling there, scheming in her heart, knowing the tragedy of his original conception. I must understand Shizu better than anyone. Even Yin Shiyu has died, only I am still living well, proving that Shizu values me even more. Thinking of it, Anishing speaks loudly, disciple is here to serve Shizu. She sincerely hopes to be noticed by the person inside. Please Shizu accept this disciple. Ding Yan happens to see the scene and can't help but feel admiration. This lucky person, that female cultivator is so brave. She gives a thumbs up, praising her to the skies. I hate that I can't run far away from this place. This big shot actively approaches that moody Shizu. This is a kind of superior psychological quality. No wonder people can be a big shot leader. The awakening is truly undeniable. Suddenly Anishing notices Ding Yan's appearance nearby. She is surprised and asks in an exaggerated tone, "You're not dead yet?" Causing the little admiration she just had to vanish instantly, Ding Yan freezes stiffly, she's so polite. In front of Anishing, she walks casually to the front of the palace door, inwardly smug. Doesn't exist, I must exist until the end of time. Seeing this, she laughs contemptuously. What is this place? Can you just knock on the door and it will open? Ding Yan stands there blankly pondering. Then what do? Shizu told me to come to work, but he didn't give me an employee card, and I'm not allowed to enter if the door is closed. Isn't knocking on the door the only option? As soon as she thinks this, the door immediately opens. Good sensing, I haven't even knocked yet. This strikes Anishing. What happened? Why did she get in? She is annoyed, immediately picks up her skirt, intending to enter. I am the one favored by Shizu, what is she relying on? If she can get in, I also. Suddenly a sound rings out, attracting Ding Yan's attention. In an instant, blood splatters from the threshold, dyeing the area red. She is shocked and can't believe her eyes. She's dead? Without knowing when, Sima Xiao has been standing tall right behind her, affirming, dead. He reaches out and grabs her small face. Then pulls her close, his beautiful face now full of gloom as he speaks. Do you know why I killed her? Without waiting for Ding Yan to answer, he conveniently explains. The people I killed before, most of them had foolish greed. I found them an eyesore, so I killed them all. Sima Xiao recalls the lowly words and the snake-like face of Shiyu before. But he talks about Anishing, his tone full of disgust, but the one just now was not. She was a specially trained puppet, with nothing. He continues to say what's on his mind. Compared to those who immediately reveal their greed, I hate those puppets without consciousness and soul even more. Looking into the confused eyes of the other party, Sima Xiao calmly affirms, for this kind of person, even killing her doesn't interest me. Saying this he turns his back and steps inside, the words lightly escaping his mouth as if a life is nothing. It's just that she was too noisy today, making me a little annoyed. Ding Yan looks at his back with eyes suspecting her life. Where did Shizu get the interest to tell me these things, and personally take me upstairs, with a very easygoing look? Hallucination, it must be a hallucination. After a long while, her legs tremble uncontrollably, staggering step by step up the stairs, breathing heavily like a puppy. In front, Sima Xiao still calmly moves forward, without any sign of shortness of breath. In contrast to that carefree appearance, Ding Yan is about to run out of breath, not daring to complain. She can only sigh in her head, so tired. I've already climbed 22 floors. Still climbing, before Shizu kills me, I'll die of exhaustion first. She supports her knees, stopping to rest for a moment, then secretly mocks herself. This body is so weak, it's embarrassing to call myself a female cultivator. She can't take it anymore, collapsing and kneeling on the ground, with dead fish eyes looking at the person in front. Does Shizu have divine power? I really can't walk anymore. Suddenly something makes Ding Yan open her eyes wide. Wait, this is, On that platform there is a flower burning brightly, making her curious. The fire on that lotus is burning fiercely. The lotus is still safe and sound? Her eyes suddenly light up, staring at it and speculating. Based on the usual in the mystical world, these strange things must be extremely valuable. Unexpectedly Sima Xiao presses close to Ding Yan and raises a question. Do you know what this is? She is startled and freezes, replying awkwardly, flower? He grabs her neck, pressing her forward, making the other party exclaim, Oe. His other hand uses magic to pull out a petal. Take a closer look. She opens her mouth with difficulty to reply, lotus, a lotus flower? A question arises in her heart. Was that the scream of the flower just now? He frowns suspiciously. You don't know anything, is this how they sent you here? Ding Yan bluntly says in confusion, yes, no one told me about this. Sima Xiao sighs in his heart, the demon realm is indeed getting more and more decadent. Thinking of this he simply crushes the petal in his hand. Turning around and leaving, not forgetting to instruct the person who stays behind about the work. This thing, you have to water it every day in the future. She hears and is shocked. Her brain can't react in time and calls out, wait, are you serious? Her heart is in turmoil. Although there is a flower under the flame, if you water it, won't the flame be extinguished? But Sima Xiao doesn't say anything more, directly slams the door shut, leaving Ding Yan wandering behind. Just leaving like that? Helpless, she turns to vent her anger on that beautiful lotus flower. Heartless dog boss, the first day a new employee comes, and you throw them a task that makes no sense, so arrogant. She takes a large pot and scoops water from the nearby pool. This is a fire-extinguishing product produced by Gutian. Ding Yan throws water directly at the lotus flower in front of her, all the frustration pouring out with it. I'll water it, is that okay? As soon as the water flows, swish, a shrill scream rings out from the flower. Ah, you villain. The burning flame suddenly flares up in front of her and scolds, "You're watering me, I must burn you to death." Startled by the scene, she is stunned, dazed, and leans back. Holy crap, the flame really can talk, it's alive? A minute of initial shock quickly passes. She again fiercely pours water on the flame. Don't panic, continue, I can win, making it scream in pain. Ah. Finally, unable to bear it, the flame has to shrink into a fire spirit and pitifully comes forward to beg, "Don't water me anymore, I'm so uncomfortable, boo-hoo-hoo." The little fire sadly looks at the unfamiliar face and asks tentatively, "Oe, I've never met you before, who are you, why were you brought here by that guy?" Ting Yan curiously pokes it, calmly explaining, "I haven't been here long, I just came to serve Shizu." The little fire suddenly becomes more cheerful, it radiates a glittering light, then orders grandly, "So you are a disciple of Gengchen Xianfu, I know, someone will definitely come to save me from that guy. If you are a person of Gengchen Xianfu, then don't water me again next time." She hears and is flustered, questioning, "If I don't water you, then how can I report to Shizu?" It naively expresses its doubts, "Aren't you his woman, isn't it okay to fawn over him a little?" The Huling's question makes Ding Yan's face freeze. "Why did I become Shizu's woman?" Xiao Hu calmly explains as if it's obvious, "He dared to bring you to this place, you must be his person, you're a woman, then you're his woman, what's wrong with that?" Then, it again puts on airs, pointing and ordering her, "Didn't the person who brought you here teach you how to speak? Quickly go talk to that person to deal with him. I can't stand this life anymore." Hearing this, Ting Yan can't stand it anymore and splashes water at it. "Shut your mouth." In her heart, she scorns both the master and servant, as expected of Shizu's flame. There's also something wrong with his head. Suddenly thinking of something, her pity suddenly arises, "But I heard that they have been imprisoned here for 500 years, it's no wonder the illness is getting more serious." Xiao Hu dodges the splashing water while scolding others, "Sima Xiao is crazy, telling you to extinguish me, he himself will have to die together, you wicked woman. You dare to water me, one day when I recover, I will definitely burn you to ashes." Its loud voice is still shouting, "Vanish before the eyes of that bastard Sima Xiao," but who would have thought, the main ingredient has appeared from somewhere. Sima Xiao smiles and asks back, "Really?" His appearance startles both Xiao Hua and Ding Yan. The atmosphere becomes silent to the point of suffocation. He reaches out and creates a strand of spiritual energy as thin as a thread towards that flower. Seeing the flower being destroyed, Xiao Hua cries sadly, it vents all its frustration shouting loudly, "Boo-hoo-hoo, my flower." Ding Yan doesn't dare to admit her guilt, only admitting in her head, "I watered it just now." Sima Xiao stands on the side with a pale face, his hand unconsciously clenches making a sound. Pop, pop. While Xiao Hua immediately flies over to cherish the flower, "I didn't easily raise this flower to this extent, boo-hoo-hoo." After a while, he turns around and walks away. She watches his back, unable to help admiring in her heart, Shizu is truly unpredictable. Xiao Hua cries and regrets, Sima Xiao just left like that? The next second, it changes its face, the attitude turns 180 degrees, also vigorously wooing Ding Yan, "Don't care about Sima Xiao, that crazy guy, anymore, come here quickly to help me. I can give you more treasures, never be a slave." It points to the petals scattered on the floor, then speaks, "See these petals, each petal is 1,000 years of cultivation, as long as you help me." Xiao Hua puts its hands on its hips, seizing the opportunity to show off to the beauty in front of it, "I can give you 20 petals, isn't that very generous?" Ding Yan obediently picks up each petal, putting it into her bag, inwardly mocking, "Do I even need your permission? Can't I just pick up what Shizu threw away?" But on the surface she is amiable, "Thank you, I know these are treasures." It's getting played by the water, desperately promoting to enhance its reputation, "As long as you help me, I will give you more, in this world besides Sima Xiao. Only I can pick red lotus petals." She looks at each petal and appears courteous, "No need, with her years of plowing through novels," she silently judges, 1,000 years of cultivation. What if I casually use it and can't handle it? What will happen if I die? There are many such situations in novels. Worthy of being a novel reader level 10. After working diligently for a while, she contentedly tightens the mouth of the bag. The flower watering mission is complete. It shouldn't be a problem if I take a nap now. Right? No wonder the person in front of her has eyes but doesn't see Mount Tai. Xiao Hua crosses his arms and rebukes, "A bunch of benefits are laid out in front of you. But you want to go to sleep, you really are rotten, wood that can't be carved." Suddenly a stream of water from somewhere shoots into its face, causing Xiao Hua to shout uncomfortably, "Ah, this dog snake, that little one watered me, why are you watering me too?" It turns out the culprit who splashed the water is the black snake. As soon as she sees it, Ding Yan exclaims, "Snake brother." She happily brings out a bottle of bamboo water, inviting the other party. "Are you craving a snack again?" While Xiaohua is embarrassed in place for being ignored. A few moments later, she carries a whole basin of water for the black snake. "Here, all this bamboo water is for you, drink slowly." Seeing its favorite thing, it happily hisses a few times. Suddenly, the flower cries helplessly, "Boo-hoo-hoo, there's no justice, you listen to Sima Xiao so much, sooner or later you won't have a good death." Ding Yan sits watching the black snake mukbang its favorite food, with the feeling, it feels so much like raising a dog. Suddenly she asks, "Brother, if you also came to water the flowers, then do you know when we can get off work?" It then crawls away, its tail also wags, signaling the other party. She understands the meaning instantly. "Following you?" In her heart smugly, I knew that old employees are more reliable than dog bosses. Going with the old employee, definitely not wrong. Temporarily conferring on the black snake the title of Philosophical Slave Scholar level 10. A moment later, the two go to the bathroom. Ding Yan can't help but wonder, "Snake brother, I asked you when we can get off work, why did you bring me to the bathroom? Do you mean we have to take a shower immediately after work?" She goes deeper inside, cold gusts of wind hiss, causing Ding Yan to quickly put her hands around her shoulders to warm herself. But this place is too cold, who would come here to shower? Suddenly her eyes widen in shock, her inner self can't help but shout, "Holy crap, this is Shizu's bathroom." Whether intentionally or unintentionally, just at that time, Sima Xiao is relaxing in the tub, his smooth white skin standing out under the warm smoke, further highlighting his original handsome and rugged charm. Ding Yan embarrassedly covers her eyes, her heart starting to play out. "It's over, I've seen Shizu's 2 chest points, will I be silenced?" While the other party has not yet discovered, she quickly thinks of a plan to protect her life. Run quickly, being discovered peeking at Shizu's bath, people will die. Ding Yan hates that she can't kill the black snake in front of her, she can only curse silently in her stomach. "You really are a scheming snake, are you deliberately harming your colleagues? Too serious." Suddenly, Sima Xiao gently invites, "Come here." She hears it like a bolt from the blue, her face sweating profusely. "My life has ended." She immediately kneels down on the ground, begging desperately, "Shizu, please forgive this disciple's ignorance." Ding Yan is so nervous that she stammers, Disciple didn't know this was your bathroom, the flowers have been watered, you see." She bows her head showing repentance but doesn't forget the main issue. Can disciple get off work now? Sima Xiao stares at the woman in front of him, wondering in his heart, get off work? Seeing the other party silent, she shakes like a leaf, her mind is automatically exaggerating. Why isn't Shizu talking? He really wants my life. The next second, he says coldly, leave. Ding Yan hears the words and runs away like a ghost chasing her. Yes. Sima Xiao immerses himself in the water, feeling that the beauty in front of him is very interesting. He says with satisfaction, huh. In just a few short days, Liao Tingyan has become familiar with her new job, her colleagues get along very well. That night, she even has a great time with the black snake. Cheers. The boss usually doesn't appear. Ding Yan thinks happily, too good, Shizu isn't here, I can lie down peacefully again. The object of the job, although he likes to scold and spit fire, is very easy to deal with. Xiaohua is hot-tempered like ice cream, immediately cursing loudly when something happens. UXXOO. She isn't the type to be trifled with, immediately dumps a pot of water on the other party, also saying a warning, shut up. She even conveniently solved the problem of commuting, directly moving here. Ding Yan proudly introduces her self-made homestay to the black snake. Brother, you see. I've moved my bed and bedding over here, that way I don't need to worry about going up and down the stairs every day, in her heart smug, witty. She happily drops herself onto the comfortable mattress, living here is also very good. Suddenly her attitude turns 180 degrees, her face immediately sweating, not good at all. Ding Yan can't stand it and gets up, waving her hand vigorously but it's useless, opening the window, it's all hot air blowing in, how can people sleep, boo-hoo, my wonderful feeling. Seeing this, Xiaohua laughs out loud, ha 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 ha. She turns to question the other party, what are you laughing at? It then puts on a clever face, today is the new moon, for 500 years, it's the first time Sanxingshan has a new moon. Ding Yan doesn't understand so she can't help but ask. What about the new moon? The more she listens the more confused she becomes, her inner self silently judges, the mystical world is really strange, the new moon only appears every 500 years. The next second, the temperature suddenly drops sharply, making her unbearable, her whole body shaking. Why did the temperature suddenly drop? Ding Yan looks towards the lake, and Sima Xiao happens to appear, it's Shizu. He stands in front of the blood coagulation flower for a long time, making her wait nervously, what artistic behavior is he doing again? Afterward, he waves his hand lightly, red spiritual power like fire churning in waves surrounding the flower in front of him, Xiao. Sima Xiao observes the spiritual power burning in the palm of his hand, his eyes pensive as if he is considering something in his heart. When everything is done, Sima Xiao is about to leave not noticing Ding Yan hiding on the side, she worries and speculates, could it be that I've seen Shizu's secret again? Then she pretends to climb into bed covering herself with a blanket to sleep, in her head auto-hypnotizing, see my death act here, I'm dead, I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything, nothing. If the dead have something they burn paper money. He gently brings a flower forward. It just so happens to land right in front of her nose. Ding Yan inhales reflexively, unable to help but wonder, I didn't see anything. Why is there a faint fragrance? She slowly opens her eyes, her pupils still dazed, not understanding the situation, but in her heart she still lingers on the fragrance just now, still very fragrant. To the point of making people feel refreshed in an instant, spirit increasing 100-fold. Ding Yan exclaims endlessly, it's like drinking 3 cans of Red Bull. Sima Xiao sees that the other party is awake, so he speaks, do you know what this is? She naively answers immediately without thinking, red lotus. Her inner self angrily swears, crap, I've been hit by the truth-telling buff again, didn't you already ask me, asking again. Sima Xiao looks at the other party then denies, not right, this is a Fengshan blood coagulation flower, do you know what this thing does? Ding Yan is fortunate to remember Xiao Hua's words, so she is considered to have a little knowledge. I know, 1 petal is 1,000 years of cultivation. He confirms with satisfaction, right, if it wasn't for my blood mixed in. I'm afraid you could only eat a small piece of the petal. Sima Xiao narrows his eyes at her, slowly warning, it will also become a blood flower. She hears and tears fall, her hands unconsciously clasped together, feeling that she is very lucky. Mom, I said that this thing can't be eaten randomly, or else I would have turned into a blood flower flying into the sky, thanks to my cautious nature. He reaches out and makes a spell in front of the other party then questions, you want to kill me? Ding Yan lying on the bed can't help but wonder, why is Shizu like this today? Constantly asking questions he has already asked me, could it be that I look like a homicidal maniac? Suddenly he coldly throws the flower away, it's for you. She reflexively reaches out to catch it, her heart full of questions, hating that she can't attack the other party. Although it's a treasure, but I can't use it, stupid boss, giving me a mirror, but not giving me a key, aren't you playing with me? Sima Xiao chuckles as if reading her thoughts, are you cursing me? Ding Yan, not afraid of heaven, not afraid of earth, admits frankly, that's right, but her inner self is constantly crying. The truth-telling buff is killing me. He can't help but laugh heartily after hearing, ha 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 ha. This rare scene successfully scares Ding Yan stiff. Tonight the boss is very easy to talk to, and also laughing like this, so scary. Sima Xiao domineeringly grabs the other party's neck then asks, determined to dig to the end, do you feel that I'm very easy to talk to today? Guess why? She stutters, Suddenly, amidst the flickering light of the room, the flower slowly opens, each petal gently vibrating. Ding Yan struggles to resist, her mouth mumbling each word, because I'm about to die. Sima Xiao smiles coldly confirming, you guessed right, so smart. She thinks of her memorial tablet with tears in her eyes, oh, I'm about to die. Naturally, Sima Xiao releases his hand from Ding Yan's neck, she doesn't have time to come to her senses before falling, thump, you don't want to kill me? An unexpected thing happens, she sees the scene and immediately widens her eyes, oh my, someone shouts loudly, kill. Suddenly a group of white-robed cultivators wielding swords rush to Sima Xiao. His eyes flash with a hint of death, his voice drops to the extreme, seeking death. He just waves his hand and she can't resist, taking the original combo, hitting the wall, vomiting syrup. Pfft. Sima Xiao still stands there tall, his aura soaring. The sisters have fallen but completely defeated after one move, but she still struggles, indignant with some resentment. Why is it like this? Didn't they say that he would be weakest on the night of the new moon? Sima Xiao doesn't deny, not wrong, I have been imprisoned here for 500 years, my cultivation has also been suppressed, enduring torment every day. This is the first night of the new moon, it is the moment I am weakest, the magic weapon she is holding in her arms, obeying his command flies over, whoosh. Sima Xiao grasps the magic weapon in his hand, the surrounding air also gradually heats up, he speaks giving a mocking smile, if you don't make a move, after tonight, there will be no chance anymore. She sits on the side watching the story from beginning to end, the first time seeing someone say himself is weak calling others to kill him, this Shizu's head really has problems. Or is really so tyrannical to the point of seeking death. She flies into the sky creating thousands of swords, pointing the swords at him shouting, Shirshu, sorry to offend. Ding Yan cries without tears, I said you can't use spiritual power here, and you're still fighting so exaggeratedly, even I'm caught in the crossfire. On this side, Sima Xiao calmly uses spiritual power to control the blood flower. He curls his lips flicking his fingers once. The moves of that girl have reversed, stabbing into the bodies of their owners, she is in so much pain that she can't control herself, Again, the female cultivator is beaten until she has no armor left, falling without gravity crashing into the pillar. She constantly resents him, you, basically weren't seriously injured in your origin, and weren't affected by the new moon, you deliberately lured us to take action. I thought, you didn't discover us, so you already knew, pitiful me, becoming someone else's pawn. He sees that she no longer has the strength to resist, throwing the blood flower towards Ding Yan then says, you're wrong, I was indeed seriously injured in my origin. Today is also the day I am weakest, wanting to kill me here is indeed a once in 1,000 years opportunity, only. Even if I'm so weak, you are still too weak, blood drips from his mouth but curls into a mocking smile. Ding Yan sees him spitting blood but still boasting, so her face is full of question marks. Shizu, boss, you said those boasting sentences but the corners of your mouth are bleeding. But, will Shizu also be injured? Sima Xiao wipes the blood on the corner of his mouth, his voice not hiding his contempt. That year I seem to have killed all the elders and palace masters of your Gingchen Xianfu. Today only you want to kill me, really don't know your own strength. The female cultivator suppresses the pain, struggling to get up, letting the wound bleed. This is my Shifu sword, Yuehua sword, the successors of our Yuehua palace until today. That year you killed my Shifu, this revenge I must avenge. Her vicious eyes must pay this deep blood debt. She gritted her teeth and said, the Sima family's decadent Fengshan clan should have been cut off early, saying she puts all her strength into one last sword. Ding Yan sitting in a corner can still feel the terrifying power of this move. She and the blood flower are also more or less affected by it. This storm suddenly blows together with the dazzling light. Eyes can't open, so scary magic. Sima Xiao sees she is about to be blown away, so he reaches out to touch her. Fixed body spell. She turns back to see her Shizu is doing continuous moves, the robe fluttering with each movement. Wow. Sima Xiao, though seriously injured in blood energy, can still control a terrifying amount of spiritual power. Ding Yan sees Shizu is about to turn the group of cultivators into ashes, so she covers her head and trembles. Boo-hoo-hoo, too scary, I must be calm. The storm has passed. She suddenly feels uneasy when she hears pfft. When Ding Yan gets up, the result is clear. She is beaten to a serious injury. The sword that she is so proud of has also been broken in half. She sees him staggering, hugging his chest, so she hurries over. Shizu. She quickly supports Sima Xiao to sit down, worried endlessly. Shizu, are you okay? He can't answer, only coughs. She, no way, the boss is injured very seriously. She shouts, cutting off her train of thought. Liao Dingyan, I recognize you. You are a Qinggu Tian disciple. Your Shifu even has to call me a senior grandaunt. The female cultivator's whole body is covered with wounds. Blood is scattered all over the floor. She clenches her hands, her eyes flashing with a glimmer of hope. Sima Xiao no longer has the strength to resist. You quickly kill him. If you kill him, in the future our Yuehua palace will be your support, as long as you use the Fengshan blood coagulation flower. Soaked in the blood on Sima Xiao's clothes, you can immediately gain profound cultivation. Then take the Yuehua sword, stab it into his chest, put it into the jade pond. He will die forever. She hears and is horrified. What is she talking about? Ding Yan doesn't have the strength to listen to her nonsense. She is so worried that her hands and feet are flustered. Not knowing where to touch, Shizu doesn't seem to be doing too well. Without saying a word, Sima Xiao spits blood, then falls to the floor with a pale face. Ding Yan, like her big thighs rolling to the ground, then rolling her eyes. Her heart panics. Shizu is dead? He smiles, looking at her, pointing at his chest, inviting. Right, come here. To kill me. She hears Sima Xiao's words and she is confused. What is this Shizu saying? Is there something wrong somewhere? Suddenly her eyes sweep to the place under his back. She claps her hands as if she has found a new horizon. I understand. He's lying there with his back digging into it. Really not very comfortable. Ding Yan comes with an extremely tense expression. It seems, I have to use a little strength. Then suddenly she picks him up, like a strong girl lifting a 3,000-year-old dumbbell. Ha ha. Sima Xiao is petrified, being played with the feeling of excitement. She doesn't care but pants. Phew. Ding Yan even thoughtfully tucks the blanket for Sima Xiao. Shizu, is it more comfortable now? Lie down for a while, I will change you to a new bed later. That scene makes the assassin want to explode. Liao Dingyan, what are you doing? Quickly kill him. She continues to poison her mind. He is a demon. If he doesn't die today, one day more people will die. You are helping a tyrant. Sooner or later you will regret it. But before she finishes her words, she chooses to use cotton to block her ears. I've lived for more than 20 years. Don't even say killing people. I don't even dare to kill chickens. Just a few words want me to kill someone. No way, I'm just an innocent bystander. No need to interfere in the struggle of this world. Ding Yan of today is different from before. Why force me to kill people? This world and me have nothing to do with each other. These people also have nothing to do with me. Why should I listen to that girl's words? She thinks pensively without noticing he has opened his eyes. And Sima Xiao, he and I have no enmity, no grievance. I also will not kill him. This matter is so simple. Why make it so complicated? Suddenly he calls, awakening her to concentrate again. Liao Dingyan, the other party seriously replies. Shizu. She even doesn't mind interacting a few moves to probe. Old man, are you okay? Anything else to instruct? All are for the sake of making a living. If the boss has something, I also have to think about my path in the future. The force piled up, causing Sima Xiao to have to vomit blood, but she didn't realize she also contributed. It seems really not very good. Then she asks naively with the patient, I feel at this time there should be some kind of healing herbs. He immediately frowns with the other party's intention. Where is it? Do you need me to go find it? Before Ding Yan finishes speaking, she is pulled into his arms. Find. Without explaining anything, he carries her straight out the door, escaping the arrow. In an instant, a violent explosion rings out, bombarding the space. She escapes with her life in confusion. What's going on again? Therefore she has unconsciously hugged the sturdy shoulders in front of her tightly. There have been too many dangerous situations in a row tonight. Just now Shizu's weakness was definitely fake. Sima Xiao smiles, reassuring. What are you afraid of? I won't let you die. The flame in his palm immediately burns fiercely. He repeats confidently again, "You can't die." At the same time the chain also surrounds her, forming a protective shield. Each strand of chain, as if consciously carrying out the owner's order, shoots out swiftly. All are intertwined, creating a solid membrane isolated from the outside world. This flame has blocked the way. Can't get out. How can Sima Xiao still move? We were tricked. Knowing clearly that he has lost all advantages, so he is willing to humble himself. Zizong Daojun, these are all misunderstandings. Our Tianqi palace has no intention of disrespecting you. But in response is only his cold eyes full of murderous intent. Another person next to him hurriedly reports, "It's him. Just now it was he who made the move." The old whitebeard insists regardless of everything. "What again?" "You must not let him deceive you. He has clearly fallen into a weak state. Tonight we join forces. We will definitely be able to solve him." The person who has lived the longest here doesn't cause Sima Xiao to care in the slightest. "What trash are you from, having been imprisoned here for 500 years? I have also forgotten." The other party can't help but choke. "You." Ding Yan obediently doesn't say a word, this moment, and also pulling hate, worthy of being Shizu. I truly admire. His confidence exudes from his bone structure and strength. "Didn't I say, even if I am this weak, you are still too weak?" Sima Zhao's fingers begin to pinch a magic formula using power. The group immediately sinks into the trampling of hellfire, but still don't forget to curse, "Aaa, save me. Sima Xiao, you will have to die a terrible death." Those who are still safe can only sweat and chant in their hearts. Originally thought that being suppressed for 500 years, Sima Xiao would have already been extremely weak. Didn't expect he is still so scary. It's only now that the old whitebeard realizes he has miscalculated. The Fengshan clan is truly so powerful, even layers of formations and restrictions can't do anything to him. The representative of Tianqi Palace hurriedly kneels to beg for forgiveness. "Daojun, these people are disrespectful to you, according to reason should be punished. This servant after returning, will definitely slowly handle all the branches belonging to them." But how could Sima Xiao easily let him off like that? "You see these people, each person standing out are great abilities that make others afraid. Their appearance now is so ridiculous. What do you think about this?" Ding Yan next to him suddenly has a new discovery. Huh? Her train of thought is suddenly cut off. Today the amount of information loaded is overloaded. Her whole body is paralyzed, only feeling, then not knowing why she blurts out, "Your back is too small." Ding Yan's panic index immediately hits the ceiling. This bastard used the truth-telling buff on me again. Ding Yan has her cheek squeezed into a distorted shape by the rigid hand. She can only utter a sound, Sima Xiao leans his face close to question, "My back is very small?" She explains with a forced smile, "Haha, that's right. I feel it might be because you've been imprisoned for too long. Starving to become like this," but her inner self is constantly mocking. Sanxing Shan has nothing to eat. Wouldn't it be strange not to be hungry? In Ding Yan's head she has imagined the scenario of him being imprisoned behind bars screaming, "Release me, I want to eat, or I will kill all of you." She has the guts to imagine but not the guts to say. This Shizu imprisoned with no one delivering food, enduring hunger and thirst, so he has gradually become so perverted. Yet he actually curls his lips agreeing with this point of view. "You're very right." Sima Xiao pats her head emphasizing again, "The suffering I have to endure." Ding Yan wonders blankly in her head, what did I say?" He is still in his own script, waving his hand full of spirit. "So I have to bit by bit get back everything." She screams frantically in her heart, "I didn't say this." The group below is in an uproar because of the raging fire. "Get out of the way, Aaa, save me." Ding Yan, looking at the fiery hand of his, falls into self-questioning. What does he want to do again? The highly respected great master standing in the formation gradually feels uneasy. Not good. He is wanting to break the formation. Ding Yan looks at the cold corpses around her and opens her mouth cautiously. "This thing is..." Sima Xiao kindly explains, "That year the 8 great palaces arranged this great formation, related to the later generations of the sect leader." Hearing this she secretly understands. So before Shizu killed the group of 100 female cultivators, it wasn't killing people for no reason. He gives a slight cruel smile because his inner self has also been suffocating, wanting to explode. "I have endured these unsightly seals for a long time." Sima Xiao tightens his hold on Ding Yan into his arms. A cracking sound rings out around them. The cracking sound comes from the chains of the seal. They are gradually cracking at a speed visible to the naked eye. Gu Yan, seeing the scene, is scared pale. He really only used his own strength to break the formation? The great master next to him directly covers his head, crying incoherently. "It's over, it's all over. The seal has been repealed. Like this, all the spiritual energy will..." He doesn't even finish his sentence before the entire immortal palace shakes. Ding Yan is so scared that she doesn't care about etiquette, tightly hugs Sima Zhao's neck and shouts loudly, "Aaa." When she is stabilized in place, she blankly confirms again, "Sitting on the clouds?" Ding Yan looks at the person next to her, her inner self a little agitated, still the first time seeing Shizu smile so happily, not the laughter, someone is about to die, ordinary, but pure joy. While gliding like flying, she suddenly takes a deep breath, then opens her mouth to wonder, "But, what is this?" After analyzing the composition, Ding Yan is overjoyed. "Wow, spiritual energy." Just casually taking a breath, "It feels like a chick without any cultivation like me is getting promoted swiftly." At the same time, the group of failures below begin gossiping. At first, we painstakingly set up a great formation to cut off the spiritual energy in Sanxing Shan, imprisoning Sima Xiao, then stealing the dragon to replace the phoenix, so that spiritual energy is distributed from the darkness to all places on Gingchen Xianfu, creating a thriving Xianfu for 500 years. The great master worries like ants on a hot pot. Today everything has been destroyed by Sima Xiao. Sima Xiao has completely escaped imprisonment this time. He will definitely not let us go. What is the best thing to do now? Guyan happens to clasp his hands expressing sincerity. This lowly one is sure Guyan, paying respects to Zizong Daojun. You see, Sanxing Shan has been destroyed like this today. Why not temporarily move to Bailu Slope? Wait until Sanxing Shan is repaired, then we will invite you back. Ding Yan observes him from above and can't help but despise him in her heart. This bootlicker, bootlicking Shizu's actions are faster than mine, shameless. In her heart, she naturally understands his little trick. Sure, Guyan is afraid that Shizu will be unhappy and kill a few more people, so he has saved himself first. The people of the sect leader are indeed very scheming. Right at this moment, Sima Xiao speaks calmly. Your last name is Sure. What is Sure Tianlu to you? Guyan doesn't mind flaunting his family background. Sure, Tianlu sect leader is my uncle father. The lady next to Daojun seems to also be cold. Come to Bailu Slope to recuperate. What do you think? Ding Yan is named and flusteredly waves her hands denying, not, I. In her head she is constantly asking herself, lady, why have I become a lady? While she is flustered, Sima Xiao also gently strokes her hair. Ding Yan startledly exclaims, oh. She pokes her 2 index fingers together, her inner self sprouting a series of question marks. What again? Is he calling randomly? I don't want to take advantage of you. By the time he continues to knead her cheeks, her heart is already dead. If you want to chop or kill, just say it, repeating it constantly. Are you teasing a cat? Guyan, seeing this scene, is stunned. That woman is indeed not simple. Can actually make the tyrant Shizu keep her by his side, protecting her all the way, and show affection in front of us. But how can Sima Xiao take a fancy to a woman? The sun really rose in the west. Seeming to read his inner self, Sima Xiao snorts unhappily. He impatiently flicks a strand of spiritual power out of his hand. They become a catalyst, causing the cloud to accelerate. Sima Xiao opens his mouth and spits out 3 words, let's go back. After a stormy night, the curved pavilion has returned to its leisurely state to greet the moon as usual. Only the people of the sect are anxiously different from normal. Everyone is arguing, what kind of person is this Liao Dingyan, to be able to live until today? Heard that she is the disciple of Dong Yangzhenren. His methods are also really high, teaching that female disciple the method to seduce others, bewildering the mad Sima Xiao. This girl can always be by Shizu's side. The Qinggu Tian branch is afraid to transform into the main lineage. The first lineage of Wanmei Palace, the eldest son of the Yuan family, mixed in the group, secretly laughing. A bunch of fools, still think Liao Dingyan is a disciple of Dong Yangzhenren. Not knowing at all that this person is arranged by me. Also don't think, a small sect Qinggu Tian, how can they participate in the great matter of serving Sima Xiao? In his eyes she is just a puppet to be manipulated. Today I grasp the situation is because all of you have no advantage. A woman can make Sima Xiao treat her with a different look. As long as the bone-corroding poison on Liao Dingyan's body has not been resolved, she can only listen to my arrangements. He even thinks the man who can call wind and rain just now is no different. Even Sima Xiao can't save her. Tianlu sees the disciples getting more and more noisy, so he opens his mouth to reassure. Okay, the matter is extremely important. We must ask clearly. He opens his heavenly eyes, directly asking his nephew, Guyan, there is a female disciple named Liao Dingyan. Her spirit lamp has not been extinguished from beginning to end. Do you know what's going on? He immediately blankly scratches his head. Uncle father, this matter I am also very surprised. But Guyan also thinks according to the round painting, honestly sharing all that he has grasped, that female disciple seems to be very much liked by Zizong Daojun, being protected by his side at all times. Unfortunately we also don't know the reason. Tianlu grasps the general situation and snorts contemptuously. He looks at the group of disciples saying, Ding Yan, perhaps, this is our opportunity. On the other side, as soon as they return to their warm nest, a sigh rings out in the space. Sima Xiao stands blankly looking at the drops of blood falling from the sky into the lotus pond. Ding Yan sits shaking her head but doesn't forget to ask, brother, what is the boss doing again? But before he answers she auto-composes a complete reason in her head. Isn't this some special ritual after killing people? Strange rituals are increasing. A pop sound rings out. Ding Yan blankly wonders, is the ritual over? It turns out the sound of pop 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 is from the fiery lotus bud burning dimly. She doesn't care that her good friend Black Snake is constantly calling for help. Save me, tightly squeezing the snake's neck and casts her infatuated eyes in the direction of the sound, then exclaims, oh my, it has grown up, so the treasure lotus is raised like this. If I think like that, then isn't Shizu's body the biggest treasure? No wonder he is so diao. While extremely excited, Ding Yan suddenly collapses. Not good. The whole night was both being assassinated and breaking the formation. The nerves haven't been rested at all. Once I get sleepy. She doesn't finish her sentence, her whole body will lie down before the black snake's panic. Sima Xiao startledly calls her name, Liao Dingyan. As soon as he looks again and observes, he mumbles softly, asleep again? Replying to him is steady snoring. Sima Xiao rarely kindly carries Ding Yan to the hammock to sleep comfortably. Then he just quietly stands watching her play chess with Duke Zhou in her dream. But not knowing where Ding Yan has traveled in her dream, her mouth constantly mutters meaningless words, back, too small, want to eat meat. The fire lotus on one side is no longer burning fiercely, signaling the start of a new day. Finally, Ding Yan gently calls then opens her eyes slightly. She sees Sima Zhao's face magnified in front of her and is so scared that her jaw drops. Ding Yan directly loses the ability to speak, constantly stammering in her heart, this, what is this again? Her whole body is stiff like wood, her face dazed with fear. Ding Yan doesn't dare to open her mouth, she can only monologue in her heart, I can't, I'm about to suffocate, just sleeping for a little, why did I sleep until morning? What to do if the murderous Shizu is next to me, directly like that, too. During this crucial moment, Sima Xiao is rubbing, in her heart she is constantly calling out lotto numbers, tense. But with nerves as thick as house pillars, Ding Yan quickly yawns a big one, then adjusts her thoughts, let it go, there is nothing that can't be faced. In her heart she has a very decisive way to handle it, if there is, then sleep again then talk again. Before long the day's sleep stretches until evening. Ding Yan opens her eyes for the second time in the day. When she sees there is only herself on the hammock, her heart dances wildly, Shizu is gone, yeah, I said sleeping more will solve everything, isn't this not having anything anymore? She runs in small steps on the floor making a click-clack sound. Ding Yan takes a deep breath then secretly exclaims, phew, these spiritual energies are really not bad. In her heart she can't help but praise the quality of the spiritual energy here, not only does it make people feel sleepy and then wake up. Ding Yan directly transforms into salted fish blowing water bubbles, puffing up then, inner self is so satisfied it blooms, I even feel like I'm as beautiful as a bubble. But next to her a landscape-breaking shouting rings out, worthless, all are worthless, those grandchildren in Gangchen Xianfu, yesterday had such a great opportunity and couldn't kill Sima Xiao either. Her head is only full of dissatisfaction with it so she directly turns her back, what is the position of this flame, one moment it says something happens to it and Sima Xiao won't live peacefully. Either, the two have a symbiotic relationship, when other times it says it can't wait for someone to come and kill Sima Xiao. While musing, a whoosh sound attracts her attention. Ding Yan's inner self begins to agitate again, sure, Shizu is below. Sima Xiao crooks his finger and moves his lips with two words, come here. She swooshes one and hides behind a rockery, in her head she is constantly asking herself, is Shizu that powerful, he can sense everything. After the fear has passed, Ding Yan tiptoes downstairs. But as soon as she arrives she pouts and sighs, I came downstairs, and Shizu disappeared again. Sima Xiao appears and leans into her ear to question, why are you so late? Ding Yan is scared pale and screams, oh. This fear even makes her hands and feet flustered, tripping over her own feet and panicking, ah. Ding Yan struggles to keep her body from diving to the ground, in her heart she is constantly chanting, not good, these flowers are Shizu's treasure, I must not press on them. In her head, she recalls the image of Sima Xiao sending off the destroyers, that junior sister who plucked these flowers is the example going before. Ding Yan transforms fear into motivation, using all her flexibility to steer herself to another direction, even if my face slams on the ground, I can't touch these flowers. Before she has time to complete her wish, Sima Xiao swooshes and comes closer. He hugs her tightly into his arms, avoiding her beautiful face being shattered on the cold stone floor. Ding Yan is frightened by this action, her spirit flying into the sky, in her heart a bold speculation jumps out, it's over, this action looks somewhat like an embrace. Surely it's not a misunderstanding. She quickly remedies the situation by opening her mouth to greet, paying respects to Shizu, in her heart she is also somewhat looking forward to it, anyway, as long as Shizu opens the truth-telling. Buff to ask, woman, are you deliberately embracing for another purpose, I can then prove my innocence. Sima Xiao coldly replies, stop wasting your words. Ding Yan is given the cold shoulder and shamefully hugs the wall, son of AB****, why does he have the expression? I've seen many perverts like this, but, use the truth-telling buff, quickly use it, to let me tell you the truth. He can't read her thoughts so he changes the topic, do you know what this is? Ding Yan unwillingly answers perfunctorily, Ryu Yutan, in her inner self she wants to spit smoke. So angry, why isn't he using the truth-telling buff? Sima Xiao is still self-consciously reaching out to touch the flower then asking a question, then do you know, how these flowers came to be? She replies curtly, don't know. He doesn't feel uncomfortable at all, raising the flower patiently explaining, like the Ryu Yutan tree, is the jade bone that the Sima clan left behind after death. One jade can grow one Ryu Yutan tree, before there were many jade kept, later all were scattered here by me. Sima Xiao throws it away then says the rest of the sentence, grown into these flower trees. Ding Yan's mind immediately spins, then isn't this a graveyard, with so many Ryu Yutan? How many people have died here? After the sun sets, the flower and leaves of the Ryu Yutan will change color. Sima Xiao again continues to ask for opinions, is it beautiful? She sweats profusely as she stammers expressing sincerity, beautiful, very beautiful. He abruptly makes a suggestion, then give you one, pick one yourself, she softly evading, but in her heart has already smelled the danger, why do I have such a problematic intuition? He leans close to her ear urging, pick one, it is said that after the people of the Sima family die, The jade bone of the wicked will grow a kind of Ryuyu-tan that is a deadly poison. The jade bone of the kind will grow a kind of elixir that can cure all poisons. Ding Yan's doubts continue to stifle in her stomach, not daring to say, I see they all look the same. Can't distinguish them at all. But she still decisively accepts her fate and reaches out to pick one with a swoop. Sima Xiao is satisfied and praises, seeing that you are still standing in this place, you must have picked the elixir, not bad luck, she mechanically confirms, really? Ding Yan lowers her face and says, then that's great. Sima Xiao looks at the girl drooping in his arms and says confusedly, Ting Yan. Negative thoughts torment Ding Yan's hazy mind, so painful, so painful, so painful, as expected I still have to die. She gradually lets herself sink deeper into the bottomless spiritual abyss, dying like this, so painful, rumble, so painful, so painful, painful. Even though it's not her participating, tears still constantly linger in the corners of her eyes, whose memory is this, much more painful than mine. Immediately afterward, the surrounding scene gradually changes, the desperate voice begging is very clear, no, let me go. Just hearing it can already imagine the helplessness, no, let me go, yet in response to the pleas are only cold tones, Sima Yi, you and him have to shoulder the responsibility to give birth to a son. To carry on the line, the responsibility to extend the Fengshan bloodline forever. She struggles while persuading the elders in the family, he is my brother, I can't, what about brother, the Sima clan's Fengshan bloodline must maintain purity. But the other party still turns a deaf ear only thinking of the family's benefits, you and your brother are the only two left of the Sima clan, can't be willful. Yi is forcefully thrown to the floor without mercy, like a discarded rag. In front of her is the foot of a man, even without seeing his appearance you can tell the other party is too familiar with her. Therefore she still clings to a glimmer of hope wanting to pull back the other's reason, brother, no. But everything has been preordained causing to only silently cry for her bumpy fate. She would rather bite her tongue trying to commit suicide rather than submerge herself in this relationship that is wrong from the beginning. Time flies by, the young Sima Xiao wakes up as usual and sleepily calls out, Mom. She gently shakes the rattle drum, also gently stroking his head full of affection, Xiao, you're awake. He only feels that that day is another day of opening his eyes correctly. However, the good times don't last long. The child has only just turned a few years old and has to witness a great fire never before seen. The Sima family is crazy. He suddenly went crazy, burning more than half of Sanxingshan. He frantically protects her only sprout, also having to passively listen to bad news. He just committed suicide. Her face immediately changes, not knowing what she should do. Right at this moment a stern voice awakens her from her worry, Sima Yi. The people in the family have long gathered, squeezing the only fragile person here. Your brother is a weakling, abandoning his responsibility to the Sima family. This crime is unforgivable. But in the end she still underestimates people's selfish and despicable hearts. You and Sima Xiao must give birth to another daughter. Amidst the vivid sobbing of Sima Xiao, the light in her eyes gradually fades, like a soulless shell only knowing how to protect her child instinctively. Precisely because this life is so unfair to her, he also begins to become out of control, letting him beg, Mom, don't, I'm so uncomfortable. The voices like demons whisper in her ear, obscuring her sanity. Wait until Sima Xiao is a little older, you quickly mate with him to give birth, you must not delay the descendants of the Fengshan bloodline. Even though she has understood clearly, but when hearing it for herself, the strike is increased 100,000 times. If you can't give birth to a daughter, then continue to give birth, constantly give birth, anyway you're used to it, aren't you? Yi is forever strangling her child whom she painstakingly gave birth to, until he calls out screaming, Mom. At this time she is startled and regains her senses, releasing her hand. The tear glands that have long been frozen immediately overflow. Just as Sima Xiao regains oxygen, he has to face the most painful sound he has ever heard. That is the sound of the knife piercing through the skin, the sound of the drops of blood trickling down, and the hoarse call of Mom, Xiao. Yi's last words before ending her life are, let it all end. At that time he was too young and helpless to prevent everything, only knowing how to desperately shed tears and screaming. She has truly closed her eyes and passed away, leaning back next to the raging fire surrounding her. Sima Xiao is as if nailed in place, unable to move. All the words he wants to say transform into a mournful scream. Ding Yan unconsciously calls out in her head, Sima Yi. Witnessing the pure flower gradually sinking into the sea of fire, she hurriedly stops, Sima Yi don't. Right at this moment she suddenly regains her senses, then notices the surrounding space, so dark. Then raising her hand while probing and wondering, where is this place? After a while Ding Yan finds a breakthrough and pushes it up, but she is helpless when she realizes, so heavy, is this a coffin, am I buried? In the narrow gap of the closed space, she sees a figure that is too familiar to her, Sima Xiao. Without waiting for the other party to continue to exert force, he throws the lid open, greeting, awake? She is startled and quickly protects her head, Then she thinks of sulking, questioning, why did you put me in a coffin, you want? Ding Yan has not finished speaking when he interrupts, what do I want to do? His handsome face without dead angles is indeed useful in making her yield. Nothing, let it go, I won't scold you anymore, you've also been very miserable. Recalling the past scenes just now, she is even more soft-hearted. The whole family was harmed by those bull-headed horse-faced guys of Gengchen Xianfu. Also there is boundless sympathy and understanding. It's also not strange saying he goes crazy, dies he dies, kills people he kills people. But Sima Xiao completely doesn't know how the other party's brain is operating, but gives a hidden smile. Then pinching her milky bun face closer to him to interrogate, "Are you wanting to scold me?" Ding Yan is forced to admit, "In my heart I am indeed blaming. Shizu, why are you using the truth-telling?" Buff. The surrounding air gradually exudes a dangerous scent. "Say a sentence to scold and let me hear." She immediately blurts out like an automatic radio, "Rotten idiot, your ancestors can you hear?" But in her heart she has left a will for herself. "Goodbye, my dear friend, it's over. This coffin wasn't easy to get out of, but now I have to go lie back in. I really have to leave in peace." But contrary to normal expectations, Sima Xiao suddenly laughs uncontrollably, causing her to suspect, "Still okay," angered to the point of becoming stupid, "brother." That complexion continues to change 180 degrees again, causing Ding Yan to tense up the springs in her heart. What again? No one can foresee his next move is touching her waist. Then easily lifting the other party into the air, "Go." She obediently lets him carry. The doubts naturally pour out, containing 3 parts eagerness, 7 parts curiosity. "Where are we going, Shizu?" After a while, the two have settled comfortably on the supple body of the black snake. Now Ding Yan has the opportunity to inquire carefully, "Shizu, why did I suddenly feel a little faint?" Sima Xiao also doesn't hide the truth, "The flower you touched has poison." She immediately panics and gets agitated, "Has poison? But didn't you say that only the wicked bloom a poisonous flower?" He calmly, without changing his face, exposes. "Those words were me lying to you. How can a person have no black, only white? Can just a flower distinguish good and evil?" Her brain begins to shut down half. What again? The other party has to find a way to explain more easily. Before dying the soul is peaceful and happy. The jade bone will create a spiritual flower. Before dying full of resentment and pain, will become a poisonous flower. Ding Yan unconsciously repeats, "Resentment, pain." In her head she also begins to reflect, "The flower I picked seems to be the spiritual flower formed by her mother's jade bone. She had such intense pain, even I feel like my head still hurts now." Her sympathetic eyes can't help but turn towards the person next to her. He must also be very painful. No matter what, this time I still have to thank him for saving me. But her reason immediately drowns her sentiment. "Not right. After realizing I can only vent my anger by stabbing dummies in my imagination, what am I grateful for? I got poisoned, isn't that because of him? Trash, this trash." Ding Yan hugs her chest, suppressing the anger that is on the verge of running wild. But the feeling in her palm makes her pause for about 5 seconds. "Not right. My chest seems to be 2 sizes bigger than before." She doesn't hesitate to personally check thoroughly. Now the heavy feeling is very real. "No wonder lying down I feel like something is weighing on my chest." Sima Xiao sees the person next to him absent-minded, so he asks, "What's wrong? What are you thinking about?" Ding Yan naively innocently answers honestly, "Why did my chest suddenly get bigger?" She is still immersed in the research. "Not only is it the chest, my legs also seem to have gotten bigger. The skin on my hands also seems to be whiter and shinier. Indeed, I'm stunningly beautiful." While not paying attention to his contemplative face, chest. Sima Xiao decisively throws a spiritual strike. "Isn't it just 2 lumps of meat?" He even isn't ashamed when participating in the examination. "So big, what is the use?" Ding Yan tries to restrain her twitching facial muscles. "Put your hands down and continue talking." This time the revenge committee must elect her as chairman. Since it's like that, she also can't suffer losses. "An eye for an eye, touching me so I touch back." Then complacently wraps her arms around behind him, touching for a while. As soon as she met his gloomy face, as if the world owed him billions, she learned how to spell the word fear. "Oh my, his eyes are so scary. Save me, save me, save me." Sima Xiao decided to firmly grasp that unrestrained and reckless arm. The force on her wrist felt like a lesson and an invisible threat, making her jump. "Master Ancestor, it hurts." In her heart, Ting Yan had long been out of control. "Oh my, 99% he's going to cut off my wrist. Emergency situation, must defend myself immediately. Necessity is the mother of invention." At least she knew how to use a beauty trap, even if the process was a bit flawed. "Calm down, please, sir." She even acted as if she were extremely generous and not stingy at all. "Whatever, touch whatever you want." As if afraid of not convincing him, Ting Yan enthusiastically promoted herself. "Just touch it, the feeling is amazing." Even as a girl, she was very confident in having this fish in her hand. "My big breasts are fragrant and soft, who wouldn't like them? He's just a crazy killer, no problem at all." Unexpectedly, her random move succeeded in capturing Sima Zhao's heart of stone. "How strange, others would die as soon as I had the intention to kill for the first time. Why can she soothe my anger and murderous intent again and again?" In her heart, she secretly placed a star of hope. "That's great, look at Master Ancestor's expression." So Ting Yan also sighed in relief and let go, thinking he must have calmed down. But he suddenly grabbed her slender waist and pulled her forcefully towards him. The explosive male hormones made her girlish heart beat wildly. "What's the situation now?" Just then, the movement nearby woke her from her rosy dream. A group of people appeared at the entrance with respectful expressions. "Greetings, Master Ancestor." Tian Lu hinted meaningfully, "Master Ancestor and this, madam, please stay up by Lu Cliff. Everything is ready." Although their relationship was still quite innocent, the scene in everyone's eyes was a woman charming master ancestor. Ting Yan silently retorted in her heart, "I said I'm not any madam." He was still focused on his own point of view. Seeing how tightly ancestor is holding her, he must have taken a fancy to this female disciple. On the surface, they still showed concern. "If you have any other needs, just say so. We will definitely go through fire and water." No refusal. The person next to him immediately echoed, "The sect leader is absolutely right." But Sima Xiao only coldly replied with 2 words, "Get out." No one dared to disobey and hurriedly complied. Yes. Soon, a palace maid respectfully presented clothes. "Madam, this is the new dress prepared for you." Ting Yan's eyes were immediately opened, unlocking her fashion preferences. "Oh my god, so beautiful, I should change into a more beautiful dress and style my hair beautifully." She quickly immersed herself and enjoyed the happy time of changing clothes. "For this very body, I can live another 100 years. The feeling of being a great beauty is really great." Unexpectedly, she had only wrapped the inner slip when Sima Xiao burst open the door. This sudden appearance made her lose 3 parts of her soul. But her strange brain circuit started working abnormally. "That's not right, what am I covering? I don't know if the dog ancestor's bird is weak or his sexual orientation is skewed. Why doesn't he feel anything when he touches my chest?" On the surface, Ting Yan was expressionless, but in reality, she still found it very unbelievable. His eyes aren't attracted to these enchanting curves at all? The aloof patriarchal man casually grabbed her hand. "Follow me." She was again the passive one to question, "Where do you want to go?" He nonchalantly uttered a chilling answer. "I said, when I go out, everyone will die. Of course, I'm going to kill people now." She immediately tried to escape. "Sorry to bother you, goodbye." But before she could retreat, she was suppressed. "You don't want to go?" Ting Yan still firmly refused. "Don't want to. Are you kidding me, boss? Did you activate the truth buff? The first time there's a threat, the subsequent times go very smoothly. If you don't go, I'll kill you first." She immediately changed her clothes even faster than a transforming superhero. "I'm going, I'm ready." Sima Xiao was speechless for a moment before curiously asking the reason. "Why don't you want to go?" Her answer gave him a headache. I'm afraid of seeing dead people." The two used Black Serpent as transportation. On this journey, he still doubted but was forced to admit, what's wrong with the people of the demon realm, sending someone who's afraid of dead people? Here? How can this kind of person be a spy? Ting Yan only had one worry from beginning to end, "I hope the images later won't make me nauseous." Suddenly, a fragrance wafted in the air. Her sense of smell immediately turned on a frantic search mode. "This scent is meat, oh meat, I haven't eaten meat in a long time." She also heard something else. There's music coming from behind the forest, and the voices of people too. "Senior brother, drink this cup." She quickly thought. Drink? Could it be a banquet? Just then, a voice stopped them. "Stop." A low-level disciple who had never met Sima Xiao began to lecture. "Which palace are you disciples from? How dare you casually intrude into Heavenly Senior Brother's flower banquet?" Ting Yan filtered out the key points. Flower banquet. The person continued his song. "Get lost a little further away." Immediately afterward, Sima Xiao accelerated to approach and prepare to silence the other party. Ting Yan didn't need to think to know this trip was a disaster. It's over. She had to silently pity the unfortunate fate of the man. The ancestor came here to kill people, and this little disciple doesn't know what's good for him and provokes him. Is he complaining that his life is too long? In this one-sided beating, she chose to be a silent spectator, listening and judging. "I told you, the screams are terrible, spare me." The scream made Ting Yan react. "Hey, that's not right, why is a dead person begging for mercy?" The black serpent next to her had shrunk and rubbed against her head. She had just shown her face to see, and she hadn't had time to load yet. What's the situation? The surrounding disciples only knew to kneel down in fear and helplessness. Dao Lord Zong." Sima Xiao continued his cat and mouse game. "Scream, why don't you scream anymore?" He held the man's clothes and pressed him into the water. His demonic words whispered in his ear. "Continue struggling, maybe he wants to scream, but the water's in his mouth so he can't. So he could only utter a few disjointed syllables. Glug, 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 spare me, glug." Ting Yan bluntly laughed at his suffering. "Save me, this action really looks like a turtle. Is the ancestor playing tricks?" Finally, she couldn't suppress it anymore and burst out laughing loudly. The sound, without any trace of shyness or virtue, immediately drew Sima Zhao's attention. He coldly ordered like a domineering CEO from modern times, "Come here, eat whatever you want." Ting Yan had forgotten how to spell the word humility at this time, her eyes focused on a table of delicacies. So much? After rating the food, she quickly left without any shame. Eating for free for a meal, still haven't digested it yet. The master ancestor pulled me to what's called Lingyan Mountain Platform. I don't know what he's planning to do again. At Lingyan Mountain platform, Tian Lu was watching the disciples practicing swordsmanship. As soon as Sima Xiao arrived, he respectfully saluted. Master Ancestor, why are you interested in coming here today? Today the weather changed, making him more difficult to deal with than usual. All of you, go on the platform, fight a life and death battle. You must decide the winner within 1 incense stick's time. If it's a draw, you all must die. He tried to dissuade him. If Master Ancestor only wants to watch martial arts, then there's no need for a life and death battle, or... The disciples behind him were so scared that their faces turned pale. A life and death battle? Sima Xiao quickly summoned a flower as an encouragement reward. The disciples of the Immortal Mansion often use life and death battles to improve themselves. But now they have fallen to this level. Among the disciples here today, if anyone can kill the other, they can receive a piece of Fengshan blood coagulation flower. Sure enough, Tian Lu was immediately shocked and had to reconsider. What, that's the Fengshan blood coagulation flower? Just one piece can give you 1,000 years of cultivation. He didn't care what everyone thought and coldly signaled, begin. The people who were still trembling just now instantly turned into crazy beasts and pounced together. Just one piece, and I can easily break through the bottleneck in front of me without much effort. For this flower, it's not a pity even if 100 people die. The image of people indistinguishable from ghosts made Sima Xiao cover his mouth. The greed of these people disgusts me. Ting Yan next to him was really worried about him. Master Ancestor, are you okay? This sincere heart touched his icy heart. Only. Sima Xiao hurriedly hugged her like a life-saving straw. Only on her body are there no disgusting things. She was still dazed and confused. What's wrong? Even so, she didn't forget to ask, Master Ancestor, it seems like they all want that petal, but doesn't this petal need your blood to be used? He wasn't worried at all, but instead smiled triumphantly. Ha 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 ha, not my blood, but the blood of the Fengshan race. She was the only person Sima Xiao didn't mind revealing the truth to. The flesh and blood of the Sima family are all spiritual medicine. Although there's only me left now. They've accumulated for many years, and they must still have some flesh and blood that can be used. Ting Yan immediately had a bad premonition. Then wouldn't that be? He turned her around to face the dark nature of people's hearts. It's just eating people. Look, where in this world is not a place where people eat people? At this time, they were still constantly fighting. The blood coagulation flower is mine. A person who had experienced a civilized society like her immediately rejected that bloody scene. In the chaotic sea of people behind, only Tian Lu remained calm to plot in his mind. Unexpectedly, Dao Lord Zong is really infatuated with a woman. It seems like I have to quickly win her over too. Prevent accidents. He quickly knew where to start. Liao Tingyan, you really are a good chess piece of mine. He quickly decided on the timing. It's time to meet. In the quiet night, in a mansion, there was still a room with the lights on. Misleading groans were heard. Save me. Ting Yan dragged her tired body back to the happiness in front of her. Day after day, it's even worse than working. My beloved bed, only you can save me from the boiling water and burning fire. Suddenly, there was a very eye-catching letter on the bed. What's so gaudy about this, like a love letter? The content inside made her not know how to deal with it. Tonight at Z hour, under by Lu Cliff, next to the blue campflower, don't meet, don't return. This is really too ambiguous. Could it be the original owner's lover asking her out on a date? A person who was straightforward like Ting Yan easily threw this difficult problem behind her. Not going, I'm not the original owner, it'll be embarrassing to go. The love letter with the content tonight at Z hour under by Lu Cliff gradually faded in the flame. Even though she had covered herself with a blanket, she still shivered for no reason. So cold. In her drowsiness, her bleary eyes suddenly met a figure beside her and wondered, why is it so cold? As soon as she identified the other person's identity, Ting Yan's face quickly withered like a banana leaf that could be seen with the naked eye. Oh my god, no wonder it's so cold. It turns out it's this mobile air conditioner Sima Xiao. By Lu Cliff doesn't lack rooms and beds, why do you have to lie on my bed? She immediately decided to gently sit up and keep her distance in suspicion. He doesn't want to sleep with me, does he? Haha, thinking about it, it's impossible. He's really as cold as a dead person. The worry in her heart was real, but her hands were not at all honest, groping around. Could it be that he's really dead? Luckily, although it's as cold as ice. There's still a heartbeat, not dead, the pectoral muscles are still very soft too, then I can rest assured and sleep. Suddenly, Sima Zhao's sober voice sounded as if he hadn't been sleeping at all. Are you planning to sleep like this? Ting Yan was startled and tried to stay calm. Oops, Master Ancestor is awake? He suddenly felt puzzled and wondered, I'm here, how can you still sleep? But it turned out to be a chicken talking to a duck. Or should we share a blanket? Is this the main point? She blankly returned the question to the other party. Then what is the main point? But before she could finish her words, blood flowed out of her mouth. The intense pain without warning immediately struck down her body. She weakly borrowed Sima Xiao to lean on. My stomach. Ting Yan kept groaning in pain, but his reaction was quick and his expression didn't change at all. In his heart, he still held deep suspicion. The methods of the demon realm are not as weak as I thought, but isn't she a spy of the demon realm? Why is she repeatedly backfired by this thing? Although the ambiguous identity of the other party was like a double-edged sword, he still decided to cut his wrist and sacrifice a little blood. Then he squeezed her small chin and into her mouth. Eat it. Ting Yan gritted her teeth and endured, her consciousness blurred so she didn't react to his words. Sima Xiao began to gradually lose patience. Can't feed it in, really want to take off her chin. He took a mouthful of blood but still appeared cold outside and hot inside. So troublesome. Then he gently gave it to her while feeling confused with himself. I used to only kill people, I've never saved anyone. Even he didn't understand the motive behind it, why do I have to save her, so strange. Ting Yan unconsciously swallowed according to the force. As soon as the blood flowed down her throat, a strong feeling took over her mind, so hot. Sima Xiao coldly wiped away the bloodstains and pondered, this woman's cultivation is too low to withstand my blood, saving people is even more difficult than killing people. Her weak physique accidentally aroused his competitive spirit. Can't stand it, right? If that's the case, then just eat a few more Fengshan blood coagulation flower petals to increase your cultivation. So you will naturally be able to withstand my blood. The petals quickly flew into her lips that were slightly open due to discomfort. Immediately afterward, Ting Yan immediately regained consciousness and opened her eyes abruptly. In her heart, there were countless suspicions that no one answered. Didn't I have a stomachache and vomit blood last night? Why do I feel so full of vitality now? So strange. When she felt the changes inside her body, she couldn't help but be surprised, oh my. Ting Yan quickly returned to a state of meditation to examine more carefully. There's another flower in my sea of consciousness, the feeling now is that I'm frighteningly strong. Moving mountains and filling seas seems to be just a flick of the wrist. Suddenly, an unpleasant sound awakened her from her focus. Only then did she realize Sima Zhao's condition, Master Ancestor. Her hands gently touched him carefully and worriedly, his face is so bad, and there are wounds on his hands. Ting Yan began to try to recall the events. Last night I was in so much pain that I wanted to die. My memory is also blurred, it seems like he gave me a drink. Blood, she frowned suspiciously and asked herself, blood. A scene like a 3-cent romance novel suddenly popped up in her head, making her blush with shame. He saved me, is the strange feeling in my body also brought by him? Her sluggish brain that wasn't very quick was immediately stagnated, my first kiss is gone, why doesn't this wound show any signs of healing? She gently flipped his wrist. Sima Zhao's rare kindness made Ting Yan even more confused. Clearly he's a bad killer, why does he always save me? I accidentally came to this world, I've only been living day to day. This place isn't my home. She always held an unwavering belief, I just need to survive, sooner or later I will return to my world. This incident made her seriously consider, I joked and treated him as the boss, but in reality, I was just living passively day to day, but he saved me again and again. How can I turn a blind eye like I didn't see it? The original owner had a leaf brought from Qinggu Heavenly Valley, which was very useful in healing wounds. Ting Yan decided to use it for his wound. The blood immediately stopped flowing, also making her feel more at ease and happy. It's a success. Sima Xiao, without any sign of warning, spoke with a blank face, my physique is special, the wound is not easy to heal. She was slightly startled and took a step back before asking. Master Ancestor, are you awake? As soon as he woke up, he had a face as if he was demanding a debt. How much of my blood did you drink, do you know? Ting Yan's stomach immediately churned. I didn't have any feeling before. But as soon as he said that, it's true that I drank human blood. Seeing that the other party was preparing to cry out, he quickly issued a ban. I will kill you if you dare. There was a sudden announcement outside, Dao Lord, Madam, today's breakfast. Ting Yan smelled the food and quickly opened the door. What are we eating today? The palace maid was carefully carrying the tray. This time, she was determined. I must take the opportunity to eat something delicious, otherwise I still feel like there's a fishy smell of blood in my mouth. But when she saw the plate of pastries and the familiar letter, she suddenly lost her appetite. Oh my god, why is this thing coming again? Even so, she still chose to read the content inside. You also won't live more than 3 days, if you don't come, your identity will be exposed, Z hour tonight under Bailu Cliff next to the blue Camp Flower. Ting Yan was so scared that her face turned pale. Big trouble, it's not good, it turns out I have another identity, it's over, if Master Ancestor knows. Will he kill me immediately? The worry that hadn't even appeared for a few seconds was interrupted by Sima Zhao's snatching of the letter. As soon as he read the content in it, he immediately destroyed it and ordered, you go to meet. Ting Yan didn't understand the other party's intention for a moment, huh? Young Master Yuan stood under the ancient ginkgo tree, and as soon as he saw Ting Yan approaching, he turned on the blame mode. You've made me wait a long time. Every time you avoid me, you've climbed onto Sima Zhao's high branch and want to break off with me? Hearing the tone of baseless anger, she guessed immediately. What else, old master, this is really the kind of statement from an ex-boyfriend. This young man is definitely the original owner's old flame, there's no mistake. We're over, don't look for me anymore in the future. That cold attitude made him threaten without hesitation. What nonsense are you talking about? Don't forget, your life is still in my hands. His expression was triumphant as if he held the power of life and death in his hands. As long as I crush this symbiotic rattle, the bone-corroding poison in your body will. But as soon as young Master Yuan raised the thing, before he could figure out what was happening, it was snatched from his hand in an instant. Ting Yan was still in the mood to pick it up and look around. I thought this was something important, it turns out it's just this. The bell shattered in her palm made him both confused and wary. Why are you still safe and sound, and your movements are so fast? As soon as he noticed the abnormality, he immediately used his magic to probe her body. That's not right, you're no longer in the qi refining stage, I can't even see your current realm. Sima Xiao not only detoxified you, but also helped you cultivate. In all the levels of cultivation including qi refining, foundation establishment, golden core, nascent soul, transformation god, refining void, body integration. Great ascension, tribulation transcendence, young Master Yuan didn't expect the other party to have reached the transformation god realm. The jealousy that ate at him made him disregard his face and swung his sword to slash. Based on what? You're a damn thing. Ting Yan was constantly screaming ETOET in her heart. Why does he say strike and strike right away? Although thanks to Master Ancestor's divine operation I've reached the transformation god stage. But I haven't gotten used to the skills yet. Forget it, just do a big move and see. But unexpectedly the person who made the move first was Sima Xiao. The loud noise that was made was enough to hurt just by listening. She quietly opened one eye to check. Did it succeed? As soon as she saw young Master Yuan fall miserably beside the tree, she was still a little skeptical about her strength. Wow, am I so powerful? But a hand gently placed on her shoulder awakened Ting Yan from her dream. You're a transformation god stage cultivator now. Sure enough, as soon as he appeared, he couldn't say anything good. You can't even beat a nascent soul, although I also predicted a little, but she couldn't help but be startled. Master Ancestor, as expected, this ancestor followed again. He was still trying to support his sword to show anger. Why, Liao Ting Yan, did you betray me because you fell in love with Sima Xiao, the spy of the demon realm? You really love Sima Xiao, it's too ridiculous, a cold-blooded person like him will kill you sooner or later. She immediately tangled Li through the big pot away. I'm not, I didn't, why are you like this, don't slander me. He didn't make any evaluation of her and only focused on him. The Yuan family used to hate the demon realm the most, but now there's a descendant like you who's involved with the demon realm. Young Master Yuan's face turned pale as he foresaw a bad ending. This is what's called ridiculous. Just a small stream of his power was enough to torture the other party beyond recognition. Now that the third party was dead, Ting Yan finally had time to worry about her fate. It's over, the ancestor knows everything, next it's probably my turn. She tried her best to brainstorm to escape. When she heard the voice like death approaching, you're a spy of the demon realm. Even though he knew the other party's identity, Sima Xiao still had the mood to play cat and mouse. Tell me, should I kill you or not? She only dared to mutter a rebuttal. Wah, if I'm killed now, wasn't yesterday self-defeating? He acted as if he didn't know and threatened. What did you say? Speak louder. She quickly shortened her answer to the main point. I said, you shouldn't kill. He continued to test how the other party intended to talk nonsense. Oh, why? Ting Yan immediately turned on the mode of saying sweet words. Because I've given up evil and followed justice, now I'm a person of Master Ancestor's faction. Sima Xiao felt interested in the new definition given to him, I am justice? She frankly emphasized again, I've given up evil and followed justice. Sima Xiao decided to give her another chance. Then do you want to leave me? The other party firmly maintained her opinion, don't want to. As soon as she finished speaking, she realized that something was wrong. Wait, why did I say I don't want to? Could it be that I've been eroded by this depraved and corrupt life to this point? The tense atmosphere passed, and he continued the spiritual attack. You were really too useless just now, you couldn't even deal with a nascent soul stage cultivator. Ting Yan could only laugh it off. Haha, that's right, I also feel that way, I'm definitely not as strong as Master Ancestor. But in her heart, she secretly cursed. Pooey, I've only been in the transformation god stage for one day, how can I immediately be proficient in fighting? Who knew that Sima Xiao would even utter words of comfort and hug her very quickly? It's okay, well she hadn't had time to digest it, huh? Sure enough, successful people often have their own path, you'll get used to it by killing a few more people. Ting Yan lived and died to refuse fiercely, I don't want to. I don't want to kill people. He still didn't let go of the other party, what if I insist on making you kill? She was still firm with her life's philosophy, then you can kill me too. Sima Xiao gave a sly smile, haha, you really think I don't dare to kill you? Then he threw out something. Below, an ancient building suddenly appeared, submerged in misty smoke, making her wonder, As soon as the two landed, Ting Yan couldn't hide her surprise at all. What is this? He only introduced very simply, flying pavilion. The young girls in it couldn't help but be shocked. What was that just now? I felt the flying pavilion shake a little. Suddenly, a young master with quick eyes discovered it first. Look, Dao Lord Zong. Who knew they had only time to say a few words before they were kicked out of here in just 1 second. Then Sima Xiao turned to warn, you stay here and reflect well, when you finish reflecting, then come out. He resolutely left, leaving Ting Yan at a loss. Master Ancestor just now drove everyone out. Reflect, just me? As a person with a peak optimistic soul, she quickly found joy for herself. Then wouldn't that be, the boss is gone, I'm on vacation. His appearance was relaxed and indifferent, without any remorse at all. Ah, the moon is so beautiful. After enjoying the night scene, she rewarded herself with a sleep. Sleeping alone like this every day, I like it to death. Once she closed her eyes, it was several hours later. Is it morning already? A voice, 3 parts helpless and 7 parts angry, rang out. All you know is sleep. Ting Yan, still sleepy, hadn't had time to load yet. Hey, this voice. As soon as she woke up, she faced the figure she was wary of every day, Master Ancestor. She didn't understand the light radiating from Sima Zhao's palm. What are you doing? So she raised her hand to stop him. The moment she recognized her new appearance, she immediately woke up completely and almost lost her soul. What is this claw? The other party's flustered reaction was like a joke in his eyes. You did it, didn't you? Why did you turn me into this? Quickly turn me back. After being satisfied enough, he explained, it's not that I wanted to turn you into this, but that you wanted to become this yourself. I gave you a transformation pill. It will make you turn into the most impressive form in your heart. He took the opportunity to ridicule her again. Just like your current appearance, an otter, ha ha ha. In Ting Yan's heart, 2 rivers had cried. Did I turn into a monster? Are you crazy? Why did you give me that? But on the surface, she still yielded and begged, wah, quickly turn me back to normal. Sima Xiao obviously wanted to delay. What's the hurry, leave here first. The curiosity in her arose. Where are we going again? He only revealed a little, go find someone. The 2 arrived at Yan Manor, located in a city outside Kenshin Immortal Mansion. Just as they appeared, they heard a reproachful voice, rebellious son, you still know how to come back. Master Yan hadn't noticed anything unusual yet, so he continued his song, going to those dirty places to eat, drink and be merry. It's better to stay at home and have a few more children. The other party finally spoke, the baby girl born 3 days ago, where do you plan to take her? As soon as he heard that voice, he immediately became alert. That's not right, you're not my son, who are you? Sima Xiao didn't hide it anymore and removed the disguise. I am your ancestor. Ting Yan silently watched the drama and judged in her heart, I'm afraid the ancestor is telling the truth. In fact, before we arrived, we had already found, burning young Master Yan in the brothel. The fire marks on his body are very similar to the crude little fire that the ancestor raised. It seems that the ancestor has been very angry throughout the whole journey. And I don't dare to ask why. At that time, she was still trembling like a quail, letting him caress her like a pet, not even daring to be curious about the victim's condition. Sima Xiao cast a spell and forced him to ask, answer me, where has the baby girl been taken? He couldn't control it and confessed everything, taken to 100 Phoenix Mountain. In 2 days there will be envoys to pick her up and lead her, we can't get close, we can only stand outside. At this time, he contentedly caressed the otter, very good, I will go with you at that time. Later, she gradually understood, what he wants to find may not only be young Master Yan Manor, but many other people with blood connections to him, all in a place called 100 Phoenix Mountain. 2 days later when the 2 were still sleeping soundly together in bed. That day's sleep was still like every day, but the difference was that he heard that gasping call again, Xiao. Ma Yi tried to reach forward in the sea of fire, leaving her last words, the flame of Tianshan. She reluctantly revealed the key point, is yours. Little Sima Xiao kept crying wah wah when the light flashed in front of his chest, the blooming flower was wrapped in the fiery light. The Fengshan Sima family was once the race closest to the gods on the continent. No one knew that after the gods disappeared, the Sima family also gradually weakened. Those who once served the Xi family and other families of the Kenshin Immortal Mansion became stronger and stronger. Finally, the Sima family, from the position of master, became birds in a cage, carefully cared for in a golden cage. His own mother, Sima Yi, used her own flesh and blood and spiritual bones to refine the flame of Xingshan, and then implanted the newly refined flame into my body. From then on, Sima Xiao became one with the spirit fire, living and dying together. Thanks to the spirit fire, his cultivation improved by leaps and bounds. And because of this flame, the Xi family and other families were wary of him. On the surface, they flattered him, monitoring him, but they didn't know that he could actually easily see through their hearts. The deception, greed, fear, all kinds of malice made him feel disgusted, and his mother. At that moment when he lost all reason, she clearly wanted to strangle him. But at that moment, what was transmitted to Sima Xiao was only gentleness, love, and cherishment. The white butterfly seemed to carry her tears onto his eyelashes, the hand tightening around his neck was the same as in the past. Sima Xiao should have been immersed in it forever. But suddenly there was a noisy movement accompanied by a lazy voice awakening him. Gao, it's been morning for a long time, Master Ancestor, why are you still sleeping? As soon as he opened his eyes, he gently reproached her, so it's you little brat drinking strong wine. Ting Yan, caught red-handed, recoiled backward in shock. For the first time, Sima Xiao revealed weakness and wanted to confide in the other party. I had a dream. Ting Yan, who was scooping bang in a delicious way, was startled to drop the food. What dream again? An ancestor who hasn't slept for hundreds of years is making me tired to death, can even dream? But when the words were about to escape his mouth, he couldn't express them. She is the strangest person I have ever met, she doesn't have deep malice towards me. Nor does she have much goodwill, like how people treat roadside flowers and plants, making me feel peaceful. Then Sima Xiao decided to put this matter aside and threw out a golden ball. Take it and stay here. Ting Yan's food was about to reach her mouth but was still struck by lightning, ouch. He immediately left, transforming into young Master Yan. Senior, the person leading us to 100 Phoenix Mountain has arrived. She couldn't help but gape in disbelief. Huh, Sima Xiao isn't taking me? There's such a good thing? The scenery to 100 Phoenix Mountain was like a resting place integrated with nature. The opposite side coldly ordered as if intending to send people away, it's good to bring it here. The person in charge raised his hand to prepare to receive it. Give me the baby girl. Master Yan, with his rich life experience, quickly had a bad premonition. It's broken, why does it feel like something is about to happen? As expected, he had only been delayed for a few minutes when two people were already criticizing him. Does your son understand the rules? Why don't you quickly bring the baby girl up? The ignorant child dared to offend the spirit mountain. Master Yan had to yield to the people in charge. Yes, sorry. Sima Xiao, on the other hand, showed a contemptuous smile full of meaning. Spirit mountain. The time dragged on, making the person in charge even more anxious to take action. Quickly hand over the baby girl. The baby's swaddling clothes were snatched back mercilessly. But at the same time, she also noticed a point. He was smiling just now. The supporting person next to her saw the swaddling clothes and was stunned. Why is it empty? Both of them were aggressively trying to suppress to the end. Bold, dare to deceive us, damn Yan family. Suddenly, a hearty laugh overwhelmed all the noise. Ha. Sima Xiao decided that the first person on the chopping block to see the chicken and hold the rose was the person in charge. Now only the supporting person was left, covered in wounds and fear. Why is this happening? This person kills a nascent soul cultivator even easier than a mortal plucking a flower. Cough. She had only time to call for help when she saw the appearance of a demon right in front of her. He didn't say much and had a reason to spare the other party's life. Lead me inside. The E-tribe Taishan began to promote the production of pure bloodlines very early, but it was inevitable that some people would rebel, leaving descendants with people not of the same tribe. Inside the illusory white screen was the intermittent gasping. The splashing of water when struggling mixed with the sweet sound. Inside, the two were still communicating rhythmically, not knowing the sky, the moon, the clouds, and the wind. Not only them, but also other people were very focused on blending into this atmosphere. The palace manager observed around to monitor the progress. Quickly get to work, you are not allowed to stop, Those descendants once called impure by the Fengshan clansmen were found by people with intentions and sent here. Sima Xiao witnessed everything and calmly sighed. So, the Fengshan branches with rebellious blood are all gathered here. In his ear, he could also hear the dirty and unacceptable content. After mating and becoming pregnant, they will be sent to the delivery room immediately. It could be said that if these people were regarded as animals, then this place was a large-scale breeding farm. Inside another room were only pregnant women lined up crying out in pain. The midwife was still calmly doing her duty, use force. Finally, after much difficulty, the baby was successfully born in the cry of birth, oe. The person in charge tried to explain even when his life was in jeopardy, these children, after growing up in 100 Phoenix Mountain, will continue to perform the task of mating and reproduction. A crackling sound of breaking his neck echoed in the space. Even though he had predicted it to some extent, Sima Xiao still almost lost control. Sure Tian Lu, so this is your secret, raising the branch descendants of the E-tribe Taishan like livestock in this place. But now he didn't intend to restrain himself anymore and wanted to vent all the grievances in his heart. Ha. His power quickly spread and affected the people around him. I heard that this Song Dao Lord was raised by Dong Yu Dao Lord. But he couldn't become a righteous and kind person like Dong Yu Dao Lord, his personality was very bad. The entire mansion was immersed in Sima Xiao's mania. Years ago, a high monk from a Buddhist country who had retreated to Shangyun Temple was invited to suppress his inner demons. The two words Song in the title of this Dao Lord were given by that high monk. As soon as the story ended, the storyteller immediately knocked the gavel on the table. The listeners in front praised, wow, good, well said. Ting Yan listened to the story while eating with relish. He is truly a master in the folk, the matters of the ancestor are not clear to many internal disciples of Kenshin Immortal Mansion, but he spoke very clearly. She went out for a stroll until late at night before knowing the way back. I have indeed learned a lot of knowledge today. As soon as she entered the room, she received shocking news, I'm about to die. She was immediately frightened to freeze in place. Master ancestor. Sima Xiao was now immersed in the violent inner world of himself. Since I was born, many people have wanted to take my life, but I don't want to give it. Whoever wants to take my life, I will take their life. Along with an interface like a butcher, his words were enough to scare children throughout the village. But, now you want to take my life. Who knew that the content was not at all consistent with the visual attack? I can give it to you. Do you want it? Ting Yan was sprayed with glue rigidly because she was not prepared for this extremely sharp turn of events. Her brain began to stroll on the ninth heaven again. Why can't I keep up with the thinking of this big shot? It always feels like I've missed 10 episodes of the plot. Sima Xiao picked up the otter and asked as if forcing a confession. What are you spacing out for? Speak, do you want my life? In this difficult situation, she decided to pretend to be stupid. Et. But he was determined to get an answer. Speak human. Ting Yan, in her humble position, only dared to be upset in her heart. Damn it, I'm just an otter now. Otters can only make this sound, ancestor. But in the end, she had to be honest. No et. He continued to draw a path for the deer to run. Why don't you have any ambition? Isn't this your mission, if I die in your hands? Wouldn't that be beneficial to you? However, she quickly escaped from his arms and refused decisively. My mission is not important. I also don't want to kill people, don't want to take your life. In her heart, she secretly retorted, so what if I don't have ambition? I just want to lie down and live an ordinary life. Ting Yan's compassion arose again. Speaking of which, Master Ancestor, how about you find a doctor to see, or drink some spiritual pills? Don't give up on treatment. Sima Xiao seriously confirmed again. Really, you don't want it? She maintained her answer. Don't want to. He easily grabbed the pet into his arms. I've given you the last chance. She was startled to the point of unconsciously calling out in otter language, et. But unexpectedly, Ting Yan's kindness was reciprocated in the style of perishing together. If that's the case, you die with me. No matter how many lifetimes she reincarnated, she couldn't match his frequency. What the hell? Why did you draw this conclusion? As soon as those explosive words were spoken, Sima Xiao fell into a contemplation that no one understood. Immediately afterward, his expression changed 180 degrees, returning to his rare gentle appearance. I've wanted you to die. Why haven't you run away yet? Why don't you run? Just dying like this, the expressions of those people will definitely be very interesting. His fake smile made her even more heartbroken and distressed. In the end, what should I do to be right? He said he's about to die but still doesn't go find a doctor. I really can't bear to see him covered in blood like that. Just then, thunder rumbled in the sky, a voice suddenly rang out in the space. The Fengshan family has completely perished. The roots of Qinshan Immortal Mansion are also about to be cut off. Sima Xiao appeared as a symbol of the demon coming to claim his life. These signs of prosperity nourished by blood and flesh will quickly wither. The number 1 Immortal Mansion will collapse and decline in just 100 years. Before the witness of countless people riding the clouds and the wind, his laughter echoed in the sky. Ha 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 ha, ha ha ha, ha ha ha. Tianlu hurriedly landed and shouted loudly, Sima Xiao. He hypocritically criticized him. It's a waste for you to be respected as Master Ancestor, but you turned against us and destroyed the 1,000-year foundation of the Immortal Mansion. Today I can't let you live. He didn't go out to confront them but calmly provoked them inside the room. Haha, what 1,000-year foundation of the Immortal Mansion? Isn't it the foundation of your Shi family? Didn't the Shi family spend so much effort to create 100 Phoenix Mountain? Isn't it just to completely take Qinshan Immortal Mansion and turn over to be the master? Tianlu still tried to play his role to the end in front of everyone, speaking nonsense. Capture him. In Sima Zhao's eyes, their actions were no different than entertainment. With these things, you want to capture me. He disdainfully made the opponent realize, daydreaming. As soon as he stood up to take action, one part of the fierce power released outside was enough to suppress half of the rebels, A young swordsman who was lucky enough to escape after the unexpected move just now. Damn Sima Xiao, he's no different than a madman. He doesn't need his life, but I have to live in return. While he was caught off guard, a hand suddenly appeared from the space. Sima Xiao easily controlled the other party in the palm of his hand. Where are you running? He tried to struggle in despair. No. The remaining teammates couldn't help but be wary and stepped back. Where did he appear from? Completely couldn't see clearly. Before long, the body of the young swordsman withered like a dried grape in the desert. Tianlu immediately wound up a warning to everyone. Don't let him get close. He will suck the spiritual power and cultivation of others. Unfortunately, Sima Xiao did not hesitate to slap him in the face. Useless. Only Ting Yan, who was right next to him, realized his condition. That's not right. At first glance it seems like the ancestor is gaining the upper hand, but in reality it's already. The strong crossbow is at the end of its rope. She observed the black veins bulging along the blood vessels and felt even more sorry. Look, the body is about to collapse. Even though it's very painful, he still took the time to appease. Are you scared? Sima Xiao was more confident than she thought. What's there to be afraid of? Those dogs opposite are the ones who should really be scared. Ting Yan couldn't help but feel sorry for the other party. He tried to endure until now. It hasn't been easy. I'm afraid it won't work anymore. Now she could only gently persuade for him. If you're really in too much pain, then just give up. Anyway, you have to die. There's no need to prolong your pain for them. He unconsciously hugged her to protect her in his arms. What are you saying? I seem to not hear anything anymore. So Sima Xiao used the emotions in his heart to feel everything, but there's no malice on her body like those people, only a strange, soft emotion, like. This moment suddenly reminded him of old memories, like the feeling when I used to hold her to rest. The world suddenly became quiet. He had to live in the torment of his body for a long time. Because I carry the spirit fire, I have to soak myself in the snow all year round to be able to live with it. My body is always cold, cold to the bone. The pain was too great for an adult, but Sima Xiao had to bear it from a young age. Even if my blood is boiling, my whole body is hot. Until now, when I have grown up, I still feel cold. He gently caressed the otter as if this was the last time, but she is not like me. What he had always been wondering in his heart was that, clearly she is a very weak person, clearly she has experienced so many things, but she is always warm. Soft like cotton. The other party didn't know the entanglement and only raised her innocent eyes to call out, Master Ancestor. After a while of weighing, Sima Xiao decided, forget it, but Ting Yan didn't understand at all. Forget what? He didn't explain and only understood himself. No longer wants to drag her to die together. As soon as someone wanted to protect him, he exerted all his magic power like a gamble. Tianlu quickly grasped his intention and ordered, not good, he wants to leave, stop him. But those small fry disciples were not enough for Sima Xiao, sect leader. This is Fengling Mountain fire, we can't get through. He immediately rushed away whistling side by side with the speed of a meteor falling down. Ting Yan couldn't help but secretly comment in fear, too bloody, he's really very strong, he was injured before. Even if she didn't like it, she really admired it this time. He endured for so long, as if he didn't feel any pain. Because she was also clearly aware of herself, if it was me, I definitely wouldn't be able to do it. After temporarily reaching a resting place, Ting Yan kept coughing and wheezing. But when she saw Sima Xiao panting with difficulty, she couldn't restrain her worry. Master Ancestor, are you okay? Suddenly, the black serpent who hadn't appeared for a long time suddenly emerged from the bushes next to her. She happily quickly stood up and asked, Brother Serpent, why are you here? Before the other party could react, he answered instead, I called him here. Ting Yan couldn't grasp the other party's intention. What? Perhaps now besides him, Sima Xiao couldn't hope for anyone else. You go with this idiot, get out, you stupid snake. He ignored the other party's face and blurted out words against his heart. I didn't intend to kill you, but you didn't even try to escape. What's wrong? She didn't answer a word but moved towards him. Then boldly pulled the whole person towards her. Even the black serpent was startled. Sima Xiao threatened, but it was insignificant. What are you doing? Do you want to die? Ting Yan replied very sincerely, actually not really. He still wanted to continue pushing her away. You bringing me along isn't courting death. You're not that stupid, right? Hearing this, she seriously refuted. This is not stupid. The reason Ting Yan gave was very simple. You saved me, I must repay you. Sima Xiao only knew to be silent with this simple living concept. After seeing that the other party didn't respond, she strongly signaled to the black serpent, Brother, I'm counting on you next. Use the fastest speed to take us to run forward. Its body became large in the blink of an eye. She secretly assumed in her head, if it was just me alone, I would have let it go and wouldn't have struggled anymore. Ting Yan delicately carefully draped Sima Xiao's arm over her shoulder to support him. Now she chose that since she had already embarked on this path, she had to follow it, but with another ancestor here, she had to try a little harder. Besides that, she also didn't forget to calculate, it's time to escape. On the way, she threw the urgent problem at this time to him, Master Ancestor, where do we have to run to be safe? Sima Xiao again coldly drew a tragic ending, nowhere is safe, if you don't go, they will catch up and kill you later, I will kill them to avenge you. Ting Yan officially announced that she gave up wanting to understand. Your theory is really perfect, ha. It's really useless to talk about reason with someone who is mentally ill. But his body suddenly fell into a coma and leaned towards her, Master Ancestor. She hurriedly woke the other party from the coma, Master Ancestor, wake up. Just then, a dazzling light shone over attracting her attention. What hit Ting Yan's eyes was a scene of a monk quietly sitting in meditation. A feeling of guilt and shame suddenly surged. This is called encroaching on other people's territory, right? On the contrary, the master very gently and slowly invited them. The two of you have a fate to come here, then stay. The master stepped on the lake surface and flew to the two people. The water moved slightly with each step of his, not good. Black Snake standing tall there immediately wary, prevent him from taking another step. She tried to listen to Sima Xiao whispering, this bald-headed monk. Seeing that he wanted to stand up, Ting Yan became his support. Could it be that the ancestor, whenever he encountered a threat, his will to survive would increase? And his blood would be recovered immediately, that he could actually stand up. He breathed out each breath heavily, trying to use his skill, still did not forget to protect her. You step back. She worriedly instructed, don't try too hard. Sima Zhao inquired about the other party's purpose, then adopted a defensive stance. Are you here to kill me, or to save me? The master opposite exuded a halo and a kind face. Ba, kill or save. It all depends on this female benefactor. Ting Yan's mouth twitched when she saw herself being named. Huh, is it me? She turned her head in confusion to ask in a small voice, stammering, Master Ancestor, what does he mean? She saw him about to fall, so she hurriedly, Master Ancestor. Then she kept roaring in her heart, he's clearly exhausted, why is he still forcing himself to stand up? The master still maintained a leisurely demeanor, smiling as he looked at her. It seems that he is indeed very seriously injured. To this extent, he can still suppress him. Female benefactor, please follow me, there is still something you need to help with. Ting Yan seemed to remember something. It looks like this high monk knows the ancestor. She suddenly discovered, could it be that he is the high monk of Shangyun Temple? Who gave the ancestor the title Zong? A moment later, the master's voice in the room told an old story. Many years ago, I had the opportunity to meet Sima Xiao. At that time, he showed intelligence and thinking that was superior to others. Sima Xiao, who had been bandaged, was lying on the bed recuperating. The two sat at the tea table, enjoying tea and discussing the past. I gave him the title Zong, hoping that he would have compassion for all living beings, and be able to hide the murderous intent. In his heart, he couldn't believe that the person he expected was so different. However, in the future that I saw, he will use his own strength to overthrow almost the entire cultivation world. He stood there, watching the cultivation world sink into a sea of fire, his laughter a bit joyful and a bit desolate, ha 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 ha. The master continued to tell, he destroyed Qinshen, killed mortals, turned fertile land into scorched earth, immortal realm into hell, all living beings fell into desolation. Committing a crime with boundless karma. Ting Yan's small soul was startled, it's over, it turns out this high monk came here to eliminate demons. The master took a sip of tea, but everything has a chance to turn around. In his bloody and killing future, I saw a glimmer of hope. I left him a Buddhist bead, which suppressed his aura, helped him purify his mind, and made him suffer unbearably whenever he had murderous thoughts. He took out the string of beads to explain, but this wooden bead has been sealed, it is also a spiritual medicine, as long as the destined person removes it, they will be able to save him from death. Ting Yan asked in confusion, the destined person? She pointed to herself, her voice trembling, Master, you don't mean to say that I am the destined person, do you? The master calmly replied, that's right. She roared in despair. This theory of the destined person is really the standard for transmigrated characters. Even if I am a salted fish, it still falls on my head in the end. The two advanced to where Sima Xiao was lying. Ting Yan hesitated to speak, then. She belonged to the group of cowardly people, so she didn't dare to remove the wooden bead from his foot. Her voice trembled, I'll try. A halo that only people in the Buddhist sect could have radiated around the master. He put his hands together and said a word, please. Ting Yan paused for a second, then yanked the wooden bead off his foot with a snap. She looked at the wooden bead with some hesitation, must it be removed, can it be chopped off? The master stood aside watching Ting Yan think, as expected, she is not only Sima Zhao's only ray of hope, but also the ray of hope for all living beings. Hopefully, she can persuade Sima Xiao more in the future, leading him back to the path of goodness. The master waved his hand and disappeared as soon as he was assured that he had entrusted the lofty responsibility to Ting Yan, but the person herself didn't know. She turned around and didn't see anyone, so her face twisted, looking very panicked. Master, don't go, you are just afraid of trouble, right? She stared at the wooden bead, swallowed her saliva and thought to herself, this life-saving thing was actually tied under his foot for so long, can it really be eaten? Forget it, anyway, it's not me eating it, treat a dead horse as a living horse. Eat it for him, please. Then Ting Yan stuffed it into Sima Zhao's mouth. After swallowing, a wave of magic surrounded Sima Xiao, and his face became ready. She stood there clapping her hands, praising nonstop, wow, the wound healed immediately. As expected, this spiritual medicine is really effective. She happily cast a spell to create a water ball, then I'll come to help a little. A layer of water quickly wrapped around Sima Xiao, helping his body accelerate the recovery speed. She saw her finished product and her eyes sparkled, I'm really too smart. With the addition of this liquid cocoon, tomorrow the ancestor will be healthy as a dragon and a tiger again, continue to do his thing, and I can continue to be a salted fish. Haha, perfect. Little Fire saw Ting Yan still standing there smiling hee hee haha and got angry, what are you still standing there for, this guy is about to die. Hearing this, she took 2 steps back in shock, what nonsense are you talking about, Master Ancestor has already eaten the spiritual medicine. The fire on his body became stronger and stronger. What do you know, this medicine can only heal external injuries. Before that Sima Xiao wanted to perish together with people, and almost burned his spiritual soul. Now his spirit mansion is a mess, his consciousness is almost dissipated. Speaking of this, it shouted loudly, the distance to death is not far. Ting Yan was extremely panicked, then what to do? Little Fire shrugged and replied. You go into his spirit mansion, put his spiritual soul back together, wouldn't that be it? Her face became greener and greener, her whole body trembling as she blurted out. Don't joke like that, although I'm just a newbie, I also know that the spirit mansion is the most private place for a cultivator, the master ancestor also has a much higher cultivation than me. How can I enter it at will? Little Fire flew back and forth pointing. Then you just try it. Isn't he very fond of you? Maybe you can get in. Ting Yan was dumbfounded. How do you see that he likes me? There wasn't much time left. It impatiently shouted, I know, don't waste time anymore, hurry in. Her face sank. Really, there's no way. She slowly approached Sima Xiao, hugged his face and kissed him. The spirit mansion is like the door of human consciousness. Everyone has a different shape. People with high vigilance, full of aggression, their spirit mansion is also extremely dangerous. For example, Sima Xiao. Inside the mind is the figure of Sima Xiao appearing tall there. Before she could do anything, she was approved, startled, and shouted, AAA. Ting Yan fell down unprepared. Her heart roared. Why did I get in so easily? Ting Yan cast magic and gently landed on the ground. Her eyebrows furrowed when she saw the surrounding scenery. Oh my, why is his spirit mansion so bad? Her figure stood out in that desolate and ruined scene. The plants had all been burned to ashes, without any vitality. Can I really save him? She was hesitating when she suddenly noticed a place. Hey. Ting Yan exclaimed in surprise. Oh my god, are these all fragments of his spirit soul? Seeing the fragments of the soul about to disappear, she ran over. No, don't dissipate. Although she didn't know what to do, she had to gather these fragments of the soul first. Her hand touched a fragment of the soul, it immediately changed. She felt something, her eyes widened. The illusion of Sima Xiao appeared behind her and hugged her tightly. Her face was red for no reason. How strange. Two illusions entangled. She herself didn't understand why she had this strange feeling. Why do I feel sad and numb at the same time? No way. Why do I feel weak all over? Not only one but two figures appeared together. Ting Yan leaned weakly, her legs were soft and her head was a little sore. She closed her eyes and silently calmed herself. No, I have to concentrate. One hand hugged all the fragments of the soul, the other hand smashed all the illusions. Calm. As expected, other people's territory is not so easy to invade. Avoiding the melon skin, she met the melon pulp. A strange cloud appeared in front. She hugged the fragment of Sima Zhao's soul and secretly decided, it's here. It's here. Can't go back empty-handed. Ting Yan went through the clouds and came to an abandoned courtyard. She walked step by step cautiously. Even the bricks here were old and expired. She looked around, her face sad like a stale vermicelli. It's over. This place has become a ruin. Is his inner core spirit mansion still okay? Ting Yan walked for a while and saw a lump of spiritual blood. Found it. It looks really bad. With the experience of picking leaves just now, she quickly ran over. If this inner core also dissipates, then his soul will also dissipate. I have to run really fast. She finally arrived before it dissipated. She panted. She saw the cracks on the spiritual blood and paused. What should I do to glue these fragments of the soul back? Take myself as glue. She came up with a bold idea. That's right, I'll gather these fragments of the soul and glue them on. Maybe he can recover on his own. Without saying much, just do it. She stepped forward to take the fragment of the soul. Get well soon. The fragments of the soul lit up. The inner core emitted light, pulling Ting Yan to fly up. She tried to endure without letting go. Oh, his soul is too sharp. She felt like she was being stabbed by thousands of needles. Even though there was no malice, it still hurt so much. Suddenly Sima Xiao stepped forward, kissing her red lips. Why? Besides the pain, there is also a strange feeling. She confusedly said a word, pleasure. Ting Yan woke up from the dreamy feeling. That's not right. Wait, is this what the cultivation world calls soul mingling? The scene suddenly became ambiguous. Sima Zhao's remaining soul hugged her in his arms. Hundreds of flowers bloomed with every breath, which is also the legend about double cultivation, AAA. After watering the flowers, Ting Yan kept panting. Fu, oh my god, my mother. She escaped out, which meant that she had healed Sima Zhao's sea of consciousness, scolding him nonstop. Damn it. She hugged her flushed face, extremely frightened in her heart. I actually offered myself to sleep with Sima Xiao. This should also be considered sleeping, right? It's over. If he wakes up, will he immediately make me lose my soul? Little Fire appeared happily. I said you could do it. Now his condition is much more stable. You try a few more times and it's done. She couldn't believe her ears. Repeat again. Try a few more times? Immediately afterward, she jumped up and shouted, one time is dying and living again, now you want a few more times? Little Fire flew over and pointed at Sima Xiao who was shining brightly. He is like this now. At least he has to have 3 soul minglings to wake up, and looking at your state. Isn't double cultivation also beneficial to you? What are you frowning about? She covered her face and denied, what double cultivation? Don't talk nonsense. She waved her hand, the water bubble wrapped Little Fire. Ting Yan turned away blushing. Shut up, little bear. She sat down and sighed after banning it from chatting, annoying to death. Wait a moment and message him to wake up. Is my death day also coming? But just now. She looked at him, her voice hesitating. It seems like he likes me. He probably won't kill me, right? Ting Yan blushed with her own words. Not good. What am I doing? Am I too confident? One of the 3 great illusions of life. The other person must like me. I must be being sentimental, but... She looked at Sima Zhao's face, recalling the cracks inside the sea of consciousness. My soul and his are intertwined, too intimate, as if they merged into one. His pain, I can also feel it. Ting Yan kept caressing that face, her mind full of embarrassing thoughts. Looking at it this way, he's actually very handsome, it's just that he's never happy. And his aura is scary, making people not pay attention to his face. She touched too much and became addicted, unable to stop, thick earlobes, a little fleshy, squeezing is great. She showed a smile unconsciously. Sima Xiao was touched until he woke up. The first sentence after opening his eyes was, "What are you doing?" She paused for a beat, stammering, I. She quickly pulled the blanket up. "I'm afraid you're cold." Her small soul kept asking about the 8 generations of ancestors of her family. This fire bear is really unreliable. What a waste that last time I saw it talking cutely and didn't water it more. Sima Xiao wrapped his arm and pulled her down. Ting Yan was startled. "Ah, master ancestor." He blocked her mouth, not letting her finish speaking. "Wait, come again. My spirit talisman has been broken." The illusion of the spirit talisman appeared with rivers and mountains, completely different from the place of the master. Ugh. Sima Xiao hugged Ting Yan like a stream hugging a lotus flower, 2 figures leaning against each other like a vow unspoken. He breathed hot breaths on her delicate face. "What were you doing before?" She cried silently. A few red marks of fallen flowers remained on her fair skin. Her gentle and sobbing voice rang out. "Master ancestor, I can't." Sima Xiao didn't let her rest, bowed down to caress her red lips. "This is soul mingling." Ugh. Like soft flowers wilting in the rainy night, her voice choked in her throat, only her breath entangled with the scent of her hair. Ah. Ting Yan's arm drooped into the water. Both the boat and the water were stirred. Fu. She was loved until she was limp, no longer caring about anything. Fu. Sima Zhao gently wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes. He smiled and teased the person in his arms. "You cried too loudly." She pursed her lips and glared at him, secretly scolding in her heart. Your big pig hoof laughed just as loudly. After escaping from his own spirit mansion, her whole body was like it had been drained of vitality, without the strength to beg, "Ancestor, spare me." Sima Zhao not only didn't listen, but seeing her about to run, he reached out to pull her leg. "Not sparing you." Her face turned green, screaming miserably, "Ah." He reached out to squeeze her chin, his voice bewitching. "What are you afraid of?" Ting Yan stammered and couldn't form a sentence. Grand ancestor." She secretly scolded in her heart. "You say what am I afraid of?" Sima Zhao had only lightly kissed her earlobe, but she couldn't bear it. "I'm a sound." She kept screaming. "Just now I died and lived again, and lived and died again. I'm about to run out of strength, again?" Suddenly, she turned around and slapped a leaf on the master's head. "Fix." Seeing that he was fixed in place and couldn't move, she smiled triumphantly. Special spiritual medicine of Qinggu Heavenly Valley, sticking it on the forehead can help purify the mind. Sima Zhao didn't expect Ting Yan to be so naive, and laughed for a long time. Ha. After thousands of years of not tasting the aftertaste of life, how could he let it go? "Don't tell me you think it can only be used on the forehead." He slowly leaned down. Ting Yan didn't bother to resist anymore, lying on the bed letting people trample. "Just give up, destroy me completely, do whatever you want to fry or bake." Sima Zhao stepped forward to support his hands on the bed, her face was stiff. "Hey." Looking at the budding seedling in front of him, the beast in him couldn't restrain himself, whispering to tease, "You think that if you do this, I won't take action?" Facing that beauty that made the spirit tremble, her heart beat wildly and her voice stammered. Grand ancestor." Ting Yan didn't dare to be with this old ancestor anymore, and immediately ran away. "Save me." She stopped and pointed, constantly scolding, "You pig with big feet." Ting Yan walked and muttered, "In this case, it's better to just do it in one go, at least I can rest in the middle. This kind of soul mingling doesn't leave any room for survival or resting space." Non-stop. She looked at the scene in front of her gradually blurring and wondered, "Hey, this place, is it about to disappear? The colors around are becoming too light. This lake and wooden house, could it be the world created by that high monk?" Sima Xiao appeared and explained, "That's right, in half a day this place will disappear." She stepped back a few steps in shock. "Grand ancestor." He turned to remind, "Let's go, it's almost time to go play." So she and Black Serpent were very excited. "Where are we going this time?" He picked her up, his voice full of affection, "To Luosha Immortal Workshop." Her heart kept surging. "It seems like the ancestor is increasingly liking to hug me." She could only helplessly acquiesce, not daring to say anything more. "Forget it, as long as he doesn't do that soul-mingling thing, he can hug me however he wants." A few days later, when they arrived at Luosha Immortal Workshop. Listening to Master Ancestor, Luosha Immortal Workshop is a workshop market where mortals and cultivators live together, and it is also the first stop when entering the territory of Kenshin Immortal Mansion. What's in front of them is Yongling Spring. The little girl showed discomfort on her face. "Brother, this place is too dilapidated, do we really have to stay here for a day?" "I can't stand it anymore, I'll leave soon, or find me a better place to go." Young Tick Thursday sitting opposite replied unhurriedly, "Out here, the conditions naturally can't be as good as at home, you endure it a little." We have been following these 2 brothers and sisters for a while. The younger sister is called Yongling Xian, the older brother is called Young Tick Thursday. They are the children of the eldest daughter of the Mok family, who is married to the young palace master of Yeo Palace. I also don't know what the master ancestor is following them for. She and Sima Xiao hid to one side watching the two siblings chat. Ting Yan couldn't help but click her tongue. TSK, such a luxurious house is also criticized as dilapidated. They really are spoiled second-generation immortals. Yong Lixian saw that her request was not met, snorted and left. The little girl suddenly turned around, took his hand and shook it. Brother, what do you say? What will the academy in Kenshin Immortal Mansion be like? Is it better than the Chongjiu Academy that we have been to? Yong Tik Thursday folded his fan and leisurely replied, how can it be compared? Mother said that if we become disciples of Kenshin Immortal Mansion, it will be very glorious to go out in the future. Maybe even Yeo Palace will have to rely on our protection in the future. I know, I'm definitely better than that bunch of wild species. When the time comes, Yeo Palace will belong to us. She stood on one side listening to them say and only smiled wryly. The immortal world is really not a place without palace struggles. Sima Xiao rubbed his chin. What about using their identities? He waved his hand and turned them into two chicks. The two chicks didn't understand what was happening and cried chip chip. Her little soul panicked when she saw herself turned into Yongling Xian. What the hell is going on? Sima Xiao turned into a kind older brother, holding two chicks in his hands and approached, younger sister. Here, for you to play with. Ting Yan was speechless looking at the man in front of her. Ancestor, why are you so ugly? The next day. Only later did I understand. We impersonated the identities of the young master and young lady of Yeo Palace, were escorted to the God Learning Academy of Kenshin Immortal Mansion. Thanks to their names, we were able to avoid the pursuit of Shirshir, secretly infiltrated into the interior of Kenshin Immortal Mansion without anyone knowing. The two of them leaned against each other and fell asleep at some point, not paying attention to the black snake who had approached, Chip Chip. Ting Yan unknowingly fell into a dream. Inside was the teenage figure of Sima Xiao. Seeing this, she suspected, this is, the ancestor's memory? Images of him kept appearing before her eyes. That's right, I once entered his spirit mansion, once accepted his spirit soul, so I saw these fleeting memories. Feeling his mood. In the dream, there was only Sima Xiao alone. He was very lonely. Suddenly Ting Yan's whole body seemed to be submerged in water. It was lonely to the point of suffocating. Then she woke up from the dreamy dream. He saw that her face was a little pale, and spoke with concern. What's wrong? She exhaled a breath, stammering, no, nothing. Then she turned to look at him thinking. The consequences after this soul mingling made me look at the ancestor. Always feel like he's a pitiful person. He saw her staring at him, his head full of question marks. Moreover, images of that day at the Lotus Lake appeared in her head, thinking to the point that her face turned red. Moreover, my cultivation is gradually increasing thanks to the soul mingling. Always having the illusion of extracting yang to supplement yin, making me a little embarrassed, but the ancestor doesn't have a little embarrassment. The teacher at the top held the book and said clearly, today we will learn about the 5 elements spiritual roots and the operation of spiritual qi. On the surface, Ting Yan focused on reading the book, but in her thoughts she remembered the events of the past few days. Besides being more intimate with me, he's still like usual. Behaving differently, doing things I can't understand, this makes me feel comfortable. A moment later, she turned to look at Sima Xiao inquiringly, Ancestor. Did you bring me here to learn basic knowledge? He crushed the magic thread in his hand, a trace of danger flashed across his face. Learn what? I came here to kill people. Ting Yan immediately sighed in relief, then I'm relieved. Suddenly her face changed, horrified, and asked again, hey wait, who else do you want to kill? Sima Xiao smiled coldly looking at the ball playing in his hand. Wipe out the Shur family, along with the families that have close ties with them. Ting Yan sat next to him in fear, extremely panicked. Fortunately, this ancestor doesn't intend to kill all the people of Kenshin Immortal Mansion, otherwise it would be too many. But how to kill all of them, that's not right. Why is my first reaction this? Sima Xiao seemed to use a mind-reading technique to know her thoughts, his face extremely cold. I have spared the others for your sake, only sure. I must wipe out the entire family. You don't need to think about anything else. Hearing this, she was startled, not believing her ears. Spared others for my sake. Do I have such a big face? Why spare them for my sake? Did I advise you not to kill people indiscriminately? Inside that body was a Sima Xiao smiling caringly, pointing at her silly head. Do you know, during soul mingling, I can see some of your thoughts. She looked at him thoughtfully. Okay, solve the case. Ting Yan scratched her head. I can see a part of his memories, then he can naturally see mine. She clasped her hands and told herself, next time if there's another soul mingling, I definitely can't think recklessly. Suddenly, she cried out in panic, that's not right. Why am I considering the next time? Can't think. Thinking too much will consume vitality. Sima Xiao stretched out his hand and offered a few star balls in his hand for her to choose. Tell me which one I should take out. She looked at him helplessly. Big shot. Are you playing the game of drawing the death card? I will demonstrate the water attribute magic. She heard the teacher above say and pricked up her ears to listen. It's water attribute magic. In her heart, she couldn't help but think, my foundation is too poor, although my cultivation is high now, but my skills are too few, just in time to supplement them. The teacher reminded before casting a spell, you guys look carefully, need to work hard to practice more. Immediately, a pagoda appeared. Ting Yan clapped her hands in surprise, too powerful. She did as the teacher instructed, I'll also try a little. Before long, a mini pagoda appeared, haha, not too difficult. But her magic power didn't last long. She looked at it disappear and was disappointed. Oh, why did it dissolve? Sima Xiao sat to one side watching her twist and cast spells, really stupid. He couldn't stand to watch anymore, so he immediately grabbed her hand. His spiritual power directly penetrated her body, creating a pagoda. She couldn't help but exclaim, oh my god. He propped his chin up and retracted his spiritual power, not forgetting to criticize Ting Yan. You failed with just such a small spell, really. Why do you learn from that amateur? As soon as he finished speaking, sharp ice thorns appeared in his hand. She cried out in surprise, oh my god, this is the real big shot. Sima Xiao continued, his hand constantly inserting those needles into her body. The foundation of my spiritual power is special, you can't use it this way. Her face turned dull as she was poked by the needles, not daring to resist. Big shot, why did ice turn into metal? Hacking the game should also comply with the basic rules. But before she could finish speaking, he had already stepped forward to show her how to use spiritual power. You can use a different way. Her eyes widened when she saw him cast. It's best to use water, wood and earth systems, if there's enough water attribute spiritual power around. If you use all your strength, you can destroy a city within 100 miles. Ting Yan felt a wave of water surrounding her and exclaimed, wow, his spiritual power is too strong. In a flash, Sima Xiao cast another magic power, pressing her hand on his face and whispered, the wood system is mostly useless, but you can turn people into wood. And then add a fire to burn them into ashes very easily. The heat rose making her whole body red. I feel like my spiritual veins are being shocked and it hurts too much. He held her hand and changed her posture, letting her fully feel the colors. Earth and stone are just changes in nature. You can condense earth into stone. If the person has a cultivation lower than you by a major stage, you can use this spell to hit him straight, crushing both flesh and bone into a muddy mess. She couldn't stand this heat anymore, and begged, enough, ancestor. Really enough already. After being released, she fell onto the table, dizzy and deafened. My spiritual veins can't stand this kind of practical teaching, it's about to crack. Sima Xiao crossed his arms and criticized, the cultivation of the transformation god stage is still too weak. Ting Yan didn't want to try that feeling again. And said with a smile, no, I'm already satisfied, it's really enough already. Suddenly she realized, flatteringly offering, my lord, take a rest, have a cold beer. Black Serpent smelled the familiar scent and raised its head, hissing twice. He took the bamboo cup and couldn't help but wonder, cold beer. What is it? She looked at him not drinking and muttered nonstop, this ancestor doesn't eat or drink, he's really hard to raise, it's better to make him eat something than force him not to kill people. She suddenly remembered something and turned to ask, speaking of which, Master Ancestor, you said you wanted to deal with the Sure family and those families with close relations with them. But how do you know which families they are close with? Sima Xiao put down the bamboo cup to explain, didn't they tell me themselves, the 100-person death match on the Lingyan platform, observe who they sacrificed. Black Serpent's eyes sparkled when it saw the delicious food placed in front of it. He explained in detail for her to understand, look at how the families are linked, all the relationships, you will understand as soon as you watch. Ting Yan's face turned pale after hearing this. I thought he was just purely going crazy at that time, I didn't expect there to be a purpose. Black Serpent couldn't wait any longer, and took the opportunity to drink the cold beer. Its tail shaking non-stop. Sima Xiao said again, come, draw a card. She saw the star balls flying in front of her and was apprehensive, this. He gave a weird smile, looking at her with interest, whoever you draw, I will kill that person first. Ting Yan's voice trembled, draw lots these kinds of things. She pulled Black Serpent up to be a scapegoat, let the idiot do it. Black Serpent's tail wagged, not knowing if it was intentional or accidental, it touched a ball. Sima Xiao looked at the name on the ball and smiled strangely, the Qi family. She saw that smile and broke out in a cold sweat, ancestor, do you know that you smile exactly like the villain? Ting Yan walked into the taishui. She walked and covered her mouth, yawning incessantly, the ancestor went somewhere again and didn't come back all night. She was thinking so much that she didn't know someone was walking towards her. Don't tell me he really went to kill someone, leaving me alone to study here miserably. That young master sat down making Ting Yan startled. Oh my, who is it making me scared to death? Then he naturally introduced himself, my name is Chi Yutame. You are Yongling Xian of Yao Palace, right, where is your brother? Ting Yan looked at him with pity in her eyes, sighing, Chi, yesterday the small black snake chose a small ball, it seems to have Chi. It's over, he might be about to die. He smirked, thinking he was handsome and cool, she's staring at me like this, it seems like something's up. Our Chi family always has a good relationship with the Mok family, you call me Chi brother, I will take care of you. She saw that beauty and quickly despised it, too creepy, old man. Ting Yan couldn't stand it anymore and used the ultimate move, but poke. Chi Yutame covered his butt and cried out, ouch ouch. His face turned dull, his mother sweat and his child's sweat poured out non-stop, what's wrong, my butt, it's both painful and cold. The teacher saw him jumping in class and angrily scolded, "Chi you tame, what are you doing without any rules? Go outside and stand punishment." The whispering behind them rang out nonstop. "Oh my god, don't tell me Chi you tame peed his pants, ha 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 ha." She propped her chin up, controlling the spiritual power in her hand, secretly praising the ultimate move that Sima Xiao had taught her yesterday. It must be admitted that yesterday learning the acupuncture move from Sima Xiao is surprisingly useful. The teacher standing at the top saw the noise and raised his hand to remind everyone, "Silence, today we will talk about the spirit soul and spirit talisman." A person's spirit talisman is the most secret place. Even a dual cultivation Dao companion can hardly easily step into the other party's spirit talisman. You are still young. Don't indulge in temporary pleasure and try these kinds of things. Ting Yan's face turned red when she heard the teacher's words. She immediately touched her cheek and her eyes widened. "Wait, saying that, aren't Sima Xiao and I students with problems who have tasted the forbidden fruit?" She thought of the scene at the Lotus Lake that day and was extremely embarrassed. So embarrassing, oh my god. Inside the Jinsho painting pavilion, Ting Yan held a bowl of soup and constantly sighed in her heart. "Hey yeah, becoming Yongling Xian and having to socialize. Fortunately the food here is delicious. Even when being struck by lightning, one still has to eat." But Yan Rong Tuet brought her two sisters over, and used an awkward attitude to question her. "Yongling Xian, you are the one who made my cousin lose face, right?" She denied it, resolutely not admitting it. "How could there be? And who is your cousin?" "The first skill of a salted fish. What, I don't know, it's not me." She was so angry that her face turned red, pointing towards Ting Yan and scolding, "You still dare to deny it? Your spiritual root is also not good, coming here and not cultivating into anything. It's best to quickly find a Dao companion to rely on." She didn't need to listen to what she said, clapping her hands and praising nonstop. "Well said, very reasonable, the second skill of a salted fish. That's right, not wrong, whatever you say is right." She saw that her two sisters couldn't cure her, so she personally went into battle, her words as sharp as knives. "I see that you came here today, probably to find a Dao companion. Right, unfortunately, all the people present here are of a family background that you can't reach. It's best to understand yourself." She ignored those words, hugging her face and smiling brightly. "That's right, I also think so. The third skill of a salted fish, okay, can be. I'm okay with anything." The three sisters turned purple with anger, not expecting her to admit everything. Is there really such a thick-skinned and shameless person? The three sisters left in complaints. Didn't they say Yongling Xian has a bad temper, and explodes at the slightest touch? Why is she like a skinless person? Not reacting to anything, encountered a ghost. She smiled brightly and scooped up a spoonful of soup to drink. "The sweet soup is so delicious. Do you know that a big thing happened in the inner mansion recently? Is it related to that master ancestor?" She heard someone discussing her master and immediately turned on the gossip mode. "Are they talking about Sima Xiao? I said it before, the ancestor caused a big riot before, killing no few high-level big shots. Why is Kenshin Immortal Mansion everywhere like nothing ever happened?" Finally someone mentioned it. Those people kept whispering. "I heard that the master ancestor lost his temper, killing no few people, just because a female disciple he favored said a few words to him. The sect leader is still covering up this matter for him. Currently the master ancestor is in closed-door cultivation on Bailu Cliff, not coming out." Ting Yan sat on one side and listened, knowing the truth. She shrugged, secretly evaluating the two guys. "You idiots, this is definitely fake. It must be to stabilize the situation. The truth has been covered up above." The two guys kept talking back and forth, but didn't believe most of it was true. "Before I thought the master ancestor had left closed-door cultivation, Kenshin Immortal Mansion would be even more prosperous, but looking at the current situation it seems that having him here may not necessarily be a good thing." "That's wrong, extremely high cultivation. And the only descendant of the Sima family, his casual personality is also easy to understand. He is a considerable senior power that we admire and respect. If there's an opportunity, I am also willing to risk my life for the master ancestor to serve." Ting Yan sat and listened with relish, still not forgetting to explain. "For the master really wants to follow Sima Xiao. It's a pity that this ancestor doesn't aim at anyone in particular. Only feels that from top to bottom the Kenshin Immortal Mansion are all trash. Whatever he wants to do, he does it himself." Sima Xiao came from somewhere, placed his hand on her shoulder and asked caringly, "Have you finished eating? If you have, then let's go back." She saw him appear and stammered, Brother, you're back." She propped her hand up, looking at the table of food with great regret. "Finished eating, let's go." That guy glanced over and recognized the owner of that body, immediately called out, "Oh yo, isn't this Yong Tik Thursday of Yeo Palace? Today I and the Dao companions are holding a party here to get acquainted. Why not have your younger sister stay?" He tilted his head and turned back to ask, "Holding a party? I see you just chatting." Her head was full of question marks. Did I see wrong? Why does the ancestor have an expression like a child who has been bullied until they are thin? The two walked along the corridor chatting back and forth. "Do you like this place?" "It's okay, the food is a little better than in the academy, with your current cultivation. You don't need to eat these things at all." "Oh, I eat these things simply because I'm craving them." She smiled and raised a bowl of soup for Sima Xiao to see. Actually, you can also try many different foods, it's very effective in keeping a happy mood. In her heart, she worried about his boring life. This ancestor's life is too pitiful and boring. If even sleeping well and eating delicious food is not possible, then what's the point of living? She ate a bite to confirm the deliciousness of it. It's really very delicious, you try it. Sima Zhao's eyes looked at her with an amorous expression. Her red lips kept opening and closing. His heart itched like a small cat scratching. In the middle of the clear sky, he leaned down to kiss her. The two of them didn't close their eyes, taking in all of the other party's expressions into their eyes. Ting Yan was kissed until her head was dizzy. The spoon also fell down accordingly. The two kissed passionately. She tried to escape from his arms but couldn't. What the two didn't expect was that Chi Tame had seen everything. He hid in a corner angrily gnashing his teeth. I haven't had time to take action on this Yongling Xian, yet someone has already taken the first step. Where did the man next to her come from? On the other side, the two lingered for a long time before he was willing to let her go. After tasting the taste of the food, he bluntly commented, "What's so delicious about this?" Ting Yan angrily pushed him away and shouted, "Yet you still ate it." Sima Xiao criticized with his mouth but secretly licked his lips, savoring the aftertaste of the kiss just now. Suddenly Chi Tame stepped forward to call her, "Ling Xian's sister." He naturally spoke, as if nothing had happened. "Why are you here? Aren't you supposed to be attending the flower night banquet with someone else?" Then turning to Sima Xiao he inquired about his identity. "May I know who this person is?" She didn't know that he had witnessed everything just now, so she introduced very naturally, "This is my older brother, Young Tik Thursday." After hearing this, he stepped back 2 steps. His whole body seemed to be petrified, his heart constantly roaring. What is this? Are these two bastard and bitch siblings messing around? He saw Chi Tame's expression and curved his lips, humming coldly, "TCH." Then directly holding Ting Yan's hand he left, leaving him with a sentence, "If there's nothing then get out." She still didn't understand what just happened. What's wrong with him? His face is like he's constipated. Chi Tame turned a full 180 degrees, his face and voice cold, so disgusting. That night inside Sima Zhao's courtyard, Ting Yan asked, "Master Ancestor, what is this?" He sat there propping his chin looking at her and replied, "Before I went out to take care of some things, I saw this book and conveniently brought it back." She flipped it back and forth but didn't see anything good. What's so valuable about this book that it made the Master Ancestor personally bring it back? Suddenly all the words inside flew out, her eyes widened in surprise and exclaimed, "Wow." Then all the poems and books surrounded her. Ting Yan was startled and shouted, "This is the art of 6, the art of 4 stages of heaven and earth, profound yellow. And there are also 12 special spiritual roots of the 5 elements and abnormal changes." Speaking of this, she was afraid, and hurriedly closed the book, a total of 10,000 5,000 things. She looked at the book and couldn't help but sigh. The entire cultivation world, almost all the famous spells have been collected in this. This powerful spirit book was actually brought back by the ancestor conveniently. What shady things did he do? In her head, she imagined the scene of Sima Xiao being shackled and captured without being able to resist. Her face turned pale 3 parts, the remaining 7 parts were also ashen. Wait a minute. Could it be that tomorrow the whole world will be under martial law, searching for the thief, and then tracing it to our heads? He saw her expression and knew that the small head was thinking nonsense again, and spoke to reassure her, "Have I killed few of their people? That's not even scary, you're afraid of just holding a book." Ting Yan thought it was also true, also reasonable. Then she determinedly clenched her fist and swore, "I love studying. In the future I will memorize 50 vocabulary words every day." Knowing she had slipped, she immediately corrected. "No, is learning 15 spells." Sima Xiao picked up the teacup and said unhurriedly, "No, you don't want to. Clearly in your head you are crying that you don't want to learn." She saw him reading her like reading a book and immediately complained, "You even gave me this thick exercise book." Suddenly Ting Yan paused as if remembering something, and immediately stepped forward to ask in a small voice, "No way, Ancestor, how do you know what I'm thinking in my heart? Can you read minds?" He stretched out his hand to reply, "I can't read minds." Then he pulled her down and caressed her soft hair. "But when your mood is agitated, then occasionally, I can hear your heart, only yours." Ting Yan was pinched in the face by Sima Xiao and endured the pain, forcing a wry smile, "Why only me?" In her heart, she kept roaring, could this also be a sequela of soul mingling? Sleep, 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 even the big shot sleeps so casually, there will be a price to pay. He pressed her head down, whispered, "Everything you think in your head. I have heard it all. If you're any noisier, I will, soul mingle." Hearing this, her face turned red and her ears were flushed, stammering, "Soul, soul mingle." In her mind immediately appeared the scene of her being ravaged by Sima Xiao. She was weak without strength, her breath was rapid and her whole body was covered with red marks. "Master, Ancestor." Thinking of this, she clasped her hands and sincerely recited Buddhist scriptures, Ba, no mingle, no mingle. He saw her like this and immediately laughed. Pfft. Early morning at the school. Ting Yan sat inside looking around for a while, then leaned close to him and asked in a small voice, "Master Ancestor, so strange, why are people standing so far away from us? Their eyes are also very subtle." Sima Xiao had already used a shielding technique, and slowly replied to her, "You don't need to speak so quietly, they can't hear what we're saying." Hearing this, she pouted and said, looking at their expressions, "I thought I forgot to wear a dress when I went out, and only wore pajamas." He waved his hand to show a layer of spiritual power, then smiled lightly and replied, "Want to know? It's clear with just a look." Ting Yan immediately raised her thumb to praise. "Big shot is too powerful." Chiyu Tame used disdainful eyes to glance at them, constantly judging. "I witnessed it with my own eyes. How can it be fake? That day, those two siblings didn't care about anyone and did that thing. Right in the Jinsho Flower Hall." Yuan Rongtuet also contributed a lot to spreading the rumor. "This pair of young siblings are really shameless and lowly, defiling our pure place of study." After listening for a while, her head spun. "Oh my god, I almost forgot that there's also a blood-related brother and sister setting." Sima Xiao kept laughing non-stop. "Ha ha ha ha." Ting Yan saw that he was calm and was startled. "Ancestor, how can you still laugh?" His face sank, a murderous intent flashed across his eyes. "I heard that my parents were also blood-related siblings. Back then, the people at Kenshin Immortal Mansion wanted to obtain the pure bloodline of Sima Ni, and brainwashed them day and night, urging them to have children. I thought they didn't care about these things at all, so it turned out they also knew shame. Also knew what should be done, what shouldn't be." Sima Xiao started playing the lottery game again, seeing who would win the jackpot. Look. Just now they cursed so happily, deciding to deal with their entire family. After speaking, he crushed all the balls in his hand, as a full stop for those people's families. Ting Yan saw him planning to destroy a few big clans in one fell swoop and her soul almost left her body. "It's over. The ancestor is going out to do big things again tonight." Sima Xiao sat on the bed and rubbed her face and said, "I will leave tonight." As expected, she knew what he was planning to do, so she didn't say much, only sent him a blessing. Then I wish you a smooth journey, pay attention to safety." "No way, wait." She felt that something was wrong again, her fragile soul was agitated. "Why do I suddenly feel like I'm a wife telling her husband to be careful on a business trip? Save me, this script is too much." He leaned down to look at her with affectionate eyes. "Is there anything you want to bring back? I will bring it back for you." She secretly roared in her heart. "Oh my god, and there's even that. This is the script of a husband going on a business trip buying gifts for his wife, right?" Ting Yan waved her hand and replied casually, "Anything is fine, I'm not picky." She smiled brightly on the outside, but in her heart she had already burst into tears. "Ancestor you go out to kill people and set fires, and still want to bring back gifts." She continued to imagine the image of him bringing a one-of-a-kind gift back to her and was horrified. "A head? Could it be that you want to bring back the heads of the enemies or what?" Sima Xiao kissed her eyelids loudly, "Chut," and left a promise, "Wait for me to come back." Ting Yan hadn't gotten used to this personality yet, her face flushed and kept shouting, "Ancestor, what's wrong with you, ancestor? How could our ancestor be so gentle and emotional?" He opened the door and walked away decisively without looking back. She covered herself with a blanket, her eyes revealing an anxiety that couldn't be hidden. Sima Xiao left again. The next morning in the school, the teacher had already started lecturing. She no longer had any interest in studying, her face sullen as she flipped through the books back and forth. He left. Going to school is even more boring. She took advantage of this to try out the new skill from the book that Sima Xiao gave her. "I'll try this and see what happens." Thinking this, she opened that book. Pointing to a painting, "Try this and see." Immediately a layer of spiritual power appeared, a hazy mist appeared surrounding her. "It's a success." In her heart she was delighted, a trick to cover the eyes in a small range. "Hold it firmly in my hand, with this I can." Then she stretched out on the table and rewarded herself with a sleep, sleeping soundly in the classroom. During break time, a group of young ladies from powerful families gathered in groups of 3 or 5 to slander her. "Why does that girl Yongling Xian still have the face to stay in our school?" "That's right, looking at her foxy appearance you know she's not a good person." "Too right." They didn't know, she had stood to one side using her spiritual power to eavesdrop. She smiled playfully. "After school, I'll take a few bullies in the school to practice with." Those ladies were controlled by her spiritual power and had friction. "You stepped on my foot." "I still want to ask why you hit my head, what do you mean?" They didn't care about the so-called young ladies of the inner chambers, or the so-called feminine virtue, propriety of speech and manner. A group of them rushed at each other squawking. "What do you mean is correct? Don't argue, don't argue." She sat at the stone table nearby humming a folk song. "Haha, great fighting, fight another round." And so, a few days passed. Sima Xiao still showed no signs of returning. Ting Yan had been sleeping alone for the past few days. The sunlight shone through the crack in the door, she heard a sound and opened her eyes. Sima Xiao walked in caringly rubbing her head. Ting Yan saw that he had returned and felt relieved. "You're back." He kept his promise and brought a gift back for her. "Take it." "This is a mirror." She tried to look in it and saw that her features were still not clear, and blurted out a sentence, so blurry. She sat there studying for a long time. This mirror has 2 sides, both of which are blurred and can't be seen clearly. Logically speaking, the treasure that the ancestor brings back shouldn't be so simple. Seeing that she had tried so hard for a long time and still didn't understand, she turned to look at him. Big shot, how is this used? He could only be speechless. You don't even know this. Sima Xiao stepped onto the bed and covered her with a blanket. After finishing, he propped his chin up and gently explained, as long as there's spiritual power. Even if the two mirrors are 10,000 miles apart, you can see the situation on the opposite side. Ting Yan asked in disbelief, really, really? But when she saw him lying next to her, she roared in her heart, why are you lying down again? He immediately cast spiritual power into the mirror. Look. The scene of a pair of lovebirds had appeared in the mirror, she exclaimed unexpectedly, wow. Then suddenly another place appeared. After a while of enjoyment, she suddenly realized, there's something, these magical treasures, a phone can also see the situation in a place 10,000 miles away. And has more functions, it's much more convenient. Sima Xiao saw that she no longer had any interest and his face fell, you don't like it? Ting Yan was asked suddenly and immediately stammered, I. Seeing this, he didn't say much, raising it high preparing to break it, his voice cold and low, if you don't like it then smash it. She saw him say smash and was startled. Hurriedly supported his shoulder, oh my god, ancestor calm down, of course I like it. A magical treasure that said to be smashed was smashed, she hugged her head and cried, what are you doing, this old man is such a spendthrift. Fortunately, Ting Yan stopped him in time. She hugged the mirror into her arms breathing a sigh of relief, phew, fortunately, there's still one side that can be used. It was so difficult to get a gift from his hand. Yet he's willing to smash it, is this the kind of gift-giving that elementary school students with low EQ have? Sima Xiao immediately grabbed her chin, using magic, his cold voice rang out in the quiet space, you really like this thing? Fortunately Ting Yan really liked it so she passed this round, like it. She was also a little scared in her heart, shrugging with a wry smile, does the ancestor have a problem? For such a small matter he has to use a truth buff to ask